ready? Go ahead and proceed. I think I'm already on. I heard my voice. Good evening. We want to welcome everybody tonight to the June 8th Williamson County Commissioner meeting. As a reminder, please silence your cell phones during the duration of the meeting. First item on the agenda is always the invocation and pledge, and tonight it will be delivered by District 2 Commissioners. The invocation to be given by Commissioner Betsy Hester, the pledge to be given by Commissioner Judy Herbert. Please rise.
So thankful that we live in such a wonderful county, in such a fantastic country. 250 years. How phenomenal and how blessed we are. I thank you for the rolling hills that you have here in this area. I love the hills. I thank you for the moon and the stars and the sun. You are holy, Lord, and I praise your name. I ask you, please, Lord, to forgive us our debts and help us forgive others. Forgive us our debts as we forgive others. We need your grace and mercy. Dear Lord, I would ask for us not to be led into temptation. I thank you for our teachers, our educational staff, our police officers and emergency workers, our hospital personnel workers, and our military at home and abroad, and all of our military and our emergency workers. Please be with the Whidbey family. Understand that Mrs. Whidbey, Jeff's mom, is in the hospital. And I ask all these things in your name, dear Lord. Amen.
Amen. Please repeat the pledge after me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We have no TV. Next item is roll call. If you haven't done so already, please hit your present button. Record the roll, please, Mr. Whidbey.
So Councilman
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. It's not.
So I should be able to see them.
Having some technical difficulties up here. I don't think he knows it yet. It's not. She is. Well, I think everyone's hit it. It's just tabulating or something. Looks like it's ready. Yeah. I think it might be ready now, Mr. Whidbey.
All right. We have 21 present, 3 absent. Commissioner Richards absent, Commissioner Sturgeon absent, and Commissioner Torres absent.
And we heard from each of them. Also, as a note, Mr. Whidbey, Megan Guffey has told me that she has to leave early this evening around 8:30 for a prior commitment that she has.
Thank you.
Moving on to approval of the minutes for the May 11th Commissioner meeting. Copies should have been mailed out to each of you. I'll entertain a motion. I've got a motion from Commissioner Tom Tunnicliffe, seconded by Commissioner Jennifer Mason. Are there any additions or corrections to the minutes from our last month's meeting? Commissioner Hayes.
If you look on the consent agenda,
Under the resolutions, they're referenced as
525, not 526, just a small correction.
That was from the consent agenda of last month?
Uh-huh.
Okay. 25 should be 26.
Yeah,
Okay.
they're all 5-25
Oh, okay.
at the bottom of that page.
Is that in the minutes or on the consent agenda itself?
It's on the consent agenda.
But the minutes should, I believe, should be
No, for
correct.
last
This was
month.
in the minutes.
Okay, perfect.
That is that
Last month's
page.
consent
I got you.
agenda had it
Yep.
wrong.
For in the minutes.
Just wanted to bring it up.
Thank you for that.
Sure.
Any other additions or omissions or comments to be made? Seeing none, if you're ready to vote, if you're in favor of approving the minutes of the May 11th Commissioner meeting, signify by pressing your yes button. Any opposed, your no. Anyone wishing to change their vote, please do so at this time. Commissioner Jones? It's not working? You wanna?
I changed my
There we
vote
go.
then. After you change your vote, it works.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, we've learned that trick. Go ahead, Mr. Whibby.
21 yes, 0 no.
Motion passes. Yeah, just so you guys know, I think we may have learned a trick. If for some reason your yes and no button isn't working, I'm told that if you hit change your vote and then go back, it works. So a little trick there if it comes up on you. Next, we have citizen communications. Our rules allow up to 3 minutes per speaker. Looks like we have 6 speakers tonight. I'll call you up in the order in which you signed up. If when you come to the podium, if you would, please state your name and the town in which you reside. And the first one I have on the list is Mr. Elder John Haynes.
Good evening. My name is John Haynes. I live in the Franklin, Tennessee area. I pastor Burns Tabernacle Church here on Liberty Pike. Have been there for 27 years, and I am a candidate for the 11th district. I want to talk to you tonight with the concern of the raise for our teachers. I stand before you today in support of the proposed 4% raise of our teachers. Our teachers invest in our children every day. They arrive early, they stay late, and often go beyond the classroom to encourage, to mentor, and to guide the next generations. Their work shapes not only the students, but the future of our county. Tonight, I simply ask that we show our teachers 4 things. Number 1, we want to show them that we see them. We see the long hours, the preparation, the dedication, and the sacrifice they make for our children. Number 2, we want to show them that we value them. We say education is important, and it is. One of the clearest ways to demonstrate that belief is by valuing the men and the women who provide it. Number 3, let us show them that we support them. Support is more than words of appreciation. Support is action. A 4% raise is a tangible way to stand before those who stand before our students every day. And fourth and finally, we want to show them that we believe they deserve this increase. Teachers have earned our respect, our gratitude, and fair compensation for the critical work they do. Investing in our teachers is investing in our children, our schools, and our community. Tonight, we have an opportunity to send a clear message to every teacher in Williamson County. We see you, we value you, we support you, and we believe you deserve this increase. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Next on the list, Beverly Purvis.
Good evening, Commissioners. My name is Beverly Purvis. I'm from Fairview, and I'm here tonight advocating for the educators and staff of Williamson County Schools and for the inclusion of the 4% raise in this year's budget. Every single day, our teachers and school staff show up for this community. They arrive early, stay late, and pour countless hours into preparing lessons, supporting students emotionally, communicating with families, and creating safe and successful learning environments. They do more than what is written in a job description because they care deeply about the children of Williamson County. But dedication alone does not pay the bills. In today's economy, families across our county are feeling the pressure of rising costs everywhere that they turn. Gas prices, groceries, utilities, insurance, housing, childcare, and everyday necessities continue to increase. For many educators and staff members, this 4% raise is not about getting ahead financially, it's simply about keeping up. Without this adjustment, many employees will effectively experience a decrease in purchasing power. In real terms, it feels like a pay cut. The cost of living continues to rise while the people educating and supporting our students are being asked to do more with less. The raise is also vital for retaining and recruiting high-quality teachers and staff. Williamson County has built a reputation for excellence in education, but excellence does not happen by accident. It happens because of the hardworking professionals inside our schools every day. If we want to continue attracting and keeping the very best educators, we must show them that this county values their work and respects their professionalism. Investing in teachers and staff is investing directly in students, schools, and the future of this community. Tonight, I respectfully ask you to fully fund the district's budget and support the 4% raise for Williamson County educators and staff. They've earned it, they need it, and our schools depend on it. Thank you for your time and consideration.
Thank you. Next, I have Ravita Raman.
Good evening, Commissioners. My name is Ravita Rahman, and I am from Brentwood, and I'm here speaking on behalf of One Wilco. I'm advocating for the Williamson County teachers and the fulfillment of the 4% raise that was promised. Williamson County proudly promotes itself as one of the top school districts in Tennessee and top 3% in the nation. I've heard from other students who have graduated from WCS and now have my own personal testimony to the quality of our schools. My son is a rising sophomore attending college out of state, and he shared with me how well prepared he was for the rigor in his chemistry work. In fact, he found himself better prepared than some of his classmates who attended private schools. That preparation did not happen by accident. It happened because of the teachers in Williamson County who dedicate themselves every day to ensuring our students are ready for the next step in life. We are quick to celebrate student achievement, perfect ACT scores, high GPAs of graduates, and college success stories. We proudly use those accomplishments as evidence of our district to attract people and businesses to our community, and that excellence does not happen without having excellent teachers. I understand that budgets are complex and that unexpected challenges arise. However, I struggle to reconcile how we can continue to brag about being the best while failing to honor commitments to the very people responsible for that success. If county employees receive a 4% raise, why should teachers be asked to wait on a promise that was already made to them? Williamson County teachers are already paid below their surrounding districts at a time when teacher shortages continue to impact schools across the county. We should be focused on retaining and attracting the best educators rather than giving them reasons to leave. The reality is simple. We find ways to fund what we truly value, and if Williamson County truly values its schools like we brag about, then we must value its teachers enough to keep their promise. Please support the 4% raise and demonstrate that our commitment to educational excellence extends beyond words and rankings. Our teachers have earned it, our students depend on it, and our community benefits from it. The reputation of WCS was built by teachers, and if we want to keep being the best, we must invest in the people who make us the best. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, I have Angela Frederick.
My name is Angela Frederick. I live in Smyrna, which is actually pertinent to my speech this evening. Good evening, Commissioners. My name is Angela Frederick. I've been an employee of Williamson County Schools for 9 years. I drove here tonight from Rutherford County, where I live. If you ask many WCS teachers, they will tell you a similar story. They live in Davidson, Rutherford, Murray, Dixon, Bedford County, etc. They are being forced to move further and further away from their Williamson County schools so they can find affordable housing. A young teacher at my school just finished their first year of teaching. They live 30 miles away from our building, and they also work a second job during evenings and weekends so they can make ends meet. Their family is expecting a baby soon, and there is constant worry about living paycheck to paycheck. Obviously, that is anecdotal evidence, so let me supply some data. According to the living wage calculator maintained by MIT, as of February 2026, 2 working adults with 1 child would require $101,376 to be able to live and pay expenses in Williamson County. If one adult stays home with the child while the other works, that number only drops to $90,000. If you compare those numbers to the current salary chart for WCS teachers, you can see that we aren't keeping up with the needs of these professionals. Raising the salary scale should be a top priority for our school district. I ask that the commission work together to fund the budgetary needs of WCS, including the raise that is up for discussion this evening. We need a long-term solution to this issue. Thank you for listening.
Thank you. And the last speaker we have tonight is Ms. Laura Turner.
Good evening. Laura Turner, Franklin, Tennessee. I recently addressed the Highway Commission regarding the need for posting wildlife crossing signs on roads with frequent animal casualties. These signs will improve the safety for both drivers and animals while raising awareness and encouraging respect for wildlife along county roads that run through natural habitats, especially near creeks and rivers. As our rural landscapes continue to disappear, wildlife must cross roads more often to reach food, water, and essential resources. I also raised questions about the construction design of the new bridge on Sneed Road. This bridge design on the iconic Natchez Trace historic rural landscape and the dry stack stone 1801 Natchez Trace bridge abutment still stands on the Curry Farm for the original crossing of the Harpeth River, over the Harpeth River to Old Natchez Trace. In 1881, a covered bridge, known as the Union Bridge, was built at Sawyer's Bend on the Harpeth near the current Sneed Bridge. It was washed away in the flood of 1948. It was the last covered bridge on the Harpeth. I hope the design of the new bridge will take into consideration the historic, scenic, culturally significant, and environmentally sensitive landscape it is being built on. Christian Curry, whose land is where the bridge is, the new bridge will be constructed, couldn't be here tonight. He lives at 1045 Sneed Road West, and he wanted me to make some comments for him. Christian basically says, I lived by the Sneed Road Bridge since 1977. I am very concerned about the new bridge's appearance and design. The current bridge acts as a dam when we have big rains. In the flood of 2010, the river came over the bridge, and in 2020, the river crested at the top of the bridge. The 500-year flood maps no longer account for the thermal rivers that can dump large amounts of rain in a short period of time. There are 2 structural problems. One is the bridge pillars catch large amounts of debris that can be resolved by a freeze span, which I hope is the plan. The second problem is the creation of a long dirt berm that Sneed Road sits on east of the bridge. It also acts as a dam and restricts natural river flow in heavy rain events. The dirt berm needs to be pulled out to allow for river flow. Regarding design, we have the opportunity to celebrate the 3rd oldest highway in the United States with a beautiful bridge. It is my worry that it will be another eyesore like most bridges in the country.
20
I would
seconds.
like to see something similar to the steel bridge over the Harpeth on Highway 100 using folded plate girder construction. Thank you.
Thank you. That concludes citizen communications. Moving on to communications and messages. Quite a few reminders from my fellow commissioners. First of all, we do have 3 late filed resolutions. Without objection, we will hear 626, 51, 52, and 53. Do I hear any objections on reading those tonight? And they are in your packet. In terms of reminders, pretty big one, June 18th is the meeting that will begin here at 9 a.m. to adopt our budget for the 26-27 fiscal year and associated tax rate. Lunch will be provided at the Ag Center. I know in years past we've gone to the Enrichment Center. The Enrichment Center wasn't available on this day, so we'll be going out to the Ag Center for both lunch and the annual photograph that we all take together as a group. But the meeting will begin here at 9 a.m., and again, that's on June 18th. We'll still have our regular meeting July 13th at 6 p.m. In this very location. And then this one, June 29th, if you'll mark your calendar, we've been asked to do a joint meeting with the Franklin Board of Mayor and Aldermen. That will be held at the Enrichment Center. It will begin at 5:30, and again, that is on June 29th, 5:30 p.m., the Enrichment Center, for a combined meeting with the Williamson County Board of Commissioners and the Franklin Board of Mayor and Aldermen. That's all I have for communications and messages. Moving on to reports of county offices. Mayor Rogers Anderson.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'll call upon Phoebe to give us the last 30 days.
Thank you, Mayor Anderson. Good evening, Commissioners. Our privilege tax collections for the month of April was just a little under $1.2 million. This is slightly above our prior month collections. Based on our May preliminary numbers, those are coming in and we're starting to balance our month end. Those are also a little bit slightly higher. So we are trending in the right direction to finish out this fiscal year. Our education impact collections for April is $1.7 million, also showing an increase over the month of March. And the county received a profit from the conference center this month in the amount of $32,657. So we are now in our final month for the fiscal year ending June 2026. And so far in this last month, our revenue collections remain on track, and we are on track to meet our fiscal year projection for the year. So good news, and I will have more as we close out our fiscal year. If there's any questions, I'll be happy to entertain those now.
Any questions or comments for Ms. Riley? I see none.
Thank you, sir.
Mr. Chairman, that concludes everything. I know you've got a very long agenda, so my remarks are, unless you have questions.
Any questions or comments for the mayor? I see none. Before I call on Superintendent of Schools, Jason Golden, a couple of notes have already come across my desk. One, for those who did speak tonight about the teachers' raises, just to know that's not on our agenda tonight. We're not voting on that tonight. We will be voting on that June 18th. Also, for the aforementioned June 19th combined meeting with the Franklin Board of Mayor and Aldermen, I'm sorry, June 29th. No votes will be taken at that meeting. That's an information-only combined meeting with ourselves and, again, the Franklin Board of Mayor and Aldermen. And with that, Superintendent of Schools, Mr. Jason Golden.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and thank you, Commissioners. I feel like I need to take a page from Mayor Anderson's book and just say it's a long agenda, but so I'll let you go. But I do want to mention a couple of bullet points, a couple of nuggets from the schools. First of all, you may notice occasionally a school bus on the road still. We are actually doing summer school. That's a state program. Actually, at the moment, it is fully funded by the state. We have a few thousand students in. It's actually rising kindergartners through rising ninth graders. So just visualize that, rising kindergartners. Students who actually haven't been in our school system are actually in summer school this summer for a few of those. Did want to mention a few facts. We don't have all our data in yet, but the state actually gives us two measures to measure our schools. Number one, reward schools, and second, single letter grades. The most recent data we have for that is that we have 35 reward schools. That's our most ever. 33 single letter grade A's. That's our most ever. And you all know who've been listening to our budget discussions that actually has led to us having about $4 million more on our revenue side than we anticipated when this budget process started as a result of our single letter grade status. This year we had 34 state championships in athletics, and some of you celebrated those students over the course of this year, so thank you for that. That's our most ever. Likewise, in the arts, we had 130 students make All-State in band, orchestra, chorus, and theater. That is our most ever. We had a great year, y'all. I very much want to thank you for your support, not just recently, but over the years, so that we as a community can grow our students in a way that attracts the best. So thank you. Certainly open any questions you may have related to items on tonight's agenda.
Thank you. I have a question from Commissioner Lisa Hayes.
Hi, great news. Glad to hear the schools are doing so great. I just wanted a little clarification on like what exactly is a reward school and a single letter school, just so I understand.
Thank you. The state has structured a few measures for schools at all grade bands, elementary, middle, and high school, where they measure both student achievement and growth. And there are actually a couple other small pieces. For example, at the high school level, one of the measures for a small percentage of that letter grade is college and career readiness measures. Students who complete career tech programs, have certifications, et cetera. And so they have a formula for each of the schools based on those two measures. The reward school status is a longer term measure that's been around quite a number of years, that the state structured to comply with some federal requirements. The single letter grade structure is in its third year based on something the state legislature did. At the single letter grade status, which is the one most directly now related to funding, they have broken out the range of those grades to ensure that there are Fs in the state, that there are Ds in the state, and that A's are actually a relatively small percentage of the total, basically half as much as most of those other letter grades. It's a narrower band, and they measure achievement plus growth. The growth measure actually compares student performance to relatively similar peers. In other words, higher performing students are competing against higher performing students. Just visualize a continuum of every single student on a grade level, and their projected score is compared to their next door neighbor on that line. And if you go past your neighbor, you will probably have a positive growth, and if your neighbor goes past you, you might have a lower growth. So I tell you that to tell you that we're competing against ourselves for those growth scores. That is a very short nutshell of growth.
I have one more follow-up question, because I know we're getting a lot of emails, a lot of questions like the wonderful ladies that spoke tonight about teacher raises. And I'm curious, your team, if they focused on at least trying to make sure all of your staff that's under 100,000 gets a 4% raise, because I think that's the sweet spot of the people that are concerned.
Yeah. Our board has actually not made a vote yet related to the 4%. Of course, we have it in our budget to make a request of you. Last year, we did give teachers a 4% raise. We actually also took the funding we had and added and put some of that funding into our supplements. As an example, we have a little over 1,000 coaches, and so we bumped up some of those supplements for arts and athletics. I don't know what our board will do with that funding at this point, but we have been talking about Mayor Anderson's, proposal for their budget request of you all to include 4%. We've included that number in the aggregate, and we have not yet had a vote, hoping that the funding will come. Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Mary Smith.
Jason, thanks for the update and
Yeah.
congratulations to all the schools. That's awesome. Have you gotten a final number on the TISA funding yet?
We have gotten the most recent last month's number on TISA, and Rachel, if I'm not mistaken, it is the last one before the commission votes on June 18th. It's not the final one. I think we have 1 month left from TISA. We had estimated our gap based on everything that has been approved by the full commission is currently $11.8 million. That predates any final decision. So the budget committee has talked about some proposals related to funding that gap, but our TISA projections, we don't anticipate that we'll get any further reduction in that gap.
What is the
based on what we
current
know.
What is the current per student
The
amount?
the current per
yeah.
student? Well, I think probably the best I can do is give you the aggregate that the state projects, because they actually have 4 pieces to that TISA formula. They have the per student amount, and then they reduce it by that factor, which does not show up on the TISA report in a per student number. In the aggregate, Rachel, could you tell me what the state projects on the state side for funding in TISA in total? 183 million approximately is what we project to get from the state.
Okay. What did we get last year? Remember?
182 million.
Thank
now
you.
that's TISA.
Yes.
Commissioner Sanford.
Jason, will the school board meet before the 18th?
We do have a meeting, but but we have a meeting scheduled, a voting meeting scheduled that Monday before. That we are working on a special called meeting after the commission votes to make decisions based on what you all decide.
Thank you.
Any other questions or comments for Mr. Golden? Thank you, Superintendent.
Yes, sir.
Next, we have the hospital report, CEO Phil Mazuka and CFO Terry Fowler.
Good evening, Commissioners. Last month, I reported that the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services overall hospital quality star ratings would be soon released, and we were excited to share the news. The ratings are now out, so I can officially report that Williamson Medical Center received the highest possible ranking, 5 stars. CMS assigns these ratings based on performance across several categories tied to patient outcomes, safety, and experience. Williamson Medical Center is among one of only 6 5-star hospitals in the state of Tennessee, one of 3 in Middle Tennessee, and only one of 384 nationally. CMS star ratings are among the most meaningful measures of hospital quality because they reflect how patients experience care and how consistently hospitals deliver safe, effective outcomes. This achievement reflects the culture of our team, continues to build at Williamson Health, one centered on compassion, accountability, patient-centered care, strong clinical outcomes, and a commitment to the principles of high reliability and delivering the safest, highest quality care possible. Speaking of recognitions, on May 13th, the Children's Emergency Care Alliance of Tennessee presented the Region 5 Star of Life Award to a local Williamson County team of first responders whose coordinated response helped save the life of off-duty police detective Troy Stevenson, who felt it was important to publicly tell his story. After Detective Stevenson experienced a sudden chest pain and dizziness while working out of the police gym last November, a seamless chain of survival began. Williamson County Emergency Communications coordinated the response as Williamson Health, EMS, Franklin Police, and Franklin Fire quickly came together to provide life-saving care. Just moments before arriving at Williamson Medical Center, Detective Stevenson suffered sudden cardiac arrest. Paramedics Dylan Hughes and Sam Fisher immediately began high-quality CPR and defibrillation, successfully restoring his heartbeat before he reached the emergency room. He was then directly taken to Williamson Health's cardiac catheterization lab for specialized care. Today, Detective Stevenson has made a full recovery and is back on duty serving our community. The Star of Life Award is more than recognition of one event. It represents a daily partnership between the first responders across our county who stand ready to serve, protect, and save lives. Please join me in congratulating Williamson Health EMS, Franklin Police Department, Franklin Fire Department, and Williamson County Emergency Communications on this well-deserved honor. Our residents are blessed to have such expert first responders who are providing life-saving care every single day. And since June is National CPR and AED Awareness Month, we're encouraging community members to learn how they can also participate in life-saving measures. The American Heart Association warns that while bystander intervention is critical for survival, data reveals that most cardiac arrest victims do not receive immediate help. On average, fewer than half of out-of-hospital cardiac arrest victims receive bystander CPR, and automated external defibrillator application rates are critically lower. To help raise these bystander intervention rates in our community, Williamson Health regularly conducts education explaining how important and how easy it is to administer CPR and use AEDs. Our EMS team has already participated in multiple educational events this month, and we are also widely sharing 2 different tutorial videos we recently produced, one demonstrating hands-only CPR and one showing proper AED use. For anyone wanting to watch these videos and maybe share them with your colleagues, family, and friends, you can find them on the Williamson Health social media channels, including Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. Finally, our brand-new cardiac MRI is currently being used for general MRI procedures, as in the final stages of applications testing for cardiac procedures. We anticipate beginning to schedule cardiac MRI procedures within the next 2 weeks. We're extremely proud of this most recent example of how we continue to elevate the overall services we offer this community that we proudly serve. With that, I'll turn it over to Terry for the monthly financial report.
Hello, good evening, everyone. Here are the financial results for April. From a statistical standpoint, most volume indicators were all above prior year volumes. Deliveries and pediatric admissions were flat with prior year. So overall, volumes were good. Net patient revenue was up compared to prior year, but down compared to budget. Net revenue per adjusted admission was down 6% versus prior year, primarily due to a decrease in case mix index of 9%. Total operating revenue for the month was flat with budget, but well ahead of prior year. Operating expenses were 93% of net revenue for the month, compared to a budget of 90% and 96% for prior year. On a year-to-date basis, operating expenses were 92% of net revenue, compared to 93% for budget and prior year. Employee pharmacy costs and contract labor contributed to the budget variance. From an earnings standpoint, although EBITDA was below budget, it was up 29% versus prior year for the month and is 10% favorable year-to-date to budget. As a result, the EBITDA margin percent was 9.6% for the month versus 8.3% versus prior year, and 9.7% year-to-date versus a budget variance year-to-date of a budget of 8.8% and a prior year number of 9.9%. As for net income, it was favorable to budget for the month, unfavorable to budget for the month by $721,000. However, favorable to prior year by $109,000. $109,000 favorable year-to-date basis of $2.2 million or 58.6%. Operating cash decreased by $11 million, mainly due to the annual bond payment of $8.5 million and fixed asset purchases of around $2 million. Days cash on hand, all sources, decreased by 11.5 days to 104 days. As a comparison, prior year was 106 days. Debt coverage decreased to 2.44 from a prior month number of 2.52, and as a comparison, prior year was 2.08. This concludes my report for April.
Any questions or comments for either Mr. Mizuka or Mr. Fowler? I see none. Thank you.
Thank you,
gentlemen. Any other departments wishing to report at this time? Seeing none, we'll move on to elections and appointments. First election appointment on our list is the Convention and Visitors Bureau. 3-year terms expiring 6 of 29. Terms expiring are Steve Smith, Matthew Lahiff, and Sean Aiello. Nominations are Tom Tunnicliffe, Matthew Lahiff, and Lacey Simonton. I've got a proper motion made by Commissioner Steve Smith and seconded by Commissioner Megan Guffey. Any questions or comments on those nominations? Seeing none, if you're ready to vote, if you're in favor of those nominations, signify by pressing your yes button. Any opposed, your no. Anyone wishing to change their vote, please do so at this time. Commissioner Lisa Hayes. It's not working? Try changing it going back. There we go. Record the vote, please, Mr. Whitby.
21 yes, 0 no.
Nominations are approved. Next, we have the Sports Authority, filling an unexpired term expiring 6 of 30. The vacant spot nomination is Harrison Crabtree. I've got a proper motion made by Commissioner Megan Guffey and seconded by Commissioner Ricky Jones. Any questions or comments on that nomination? Seeing none, if you're ready to vote, if you're in favor of the nomination, signify by pressing your yes button. Opposed, your no. Anyone wishing to change their vote, please do so at this time. Record the vote, please, Mr. Whitby.
21 yes, 0 no.
Nomination is approved. Next, we have the Stormwater Appeals Board, filling an unexpired term expiring.
You missed those three, didn't you?
I missed one? Oh, I'm sorry. Those were supposed to fall under Sports Authority along with Harrison Crabtree. We'll take them separately, and I apologize. So also under the Sports Authority, this not being vacant seats, but 6-year terms, which will expire 6 of 32. We have Joe Fleener as a term expiring, along with Paul Jeter and Steve Smith. The nominations are Joe Fleener, Paul Jeter, and Paul Webb. I've got a proper motion made by Commissioner Megan Guffey, seconded by Commissioner Tom Tunnicliffe. Any questions or comments on those nominations? And I'm told we may have to voice vote these because we've already moved past it. So I'll do a collective voice vote, and if it sounds like we need to do a roll call after that, then we will. But starting out with a voice call vote, all those in favor of those nominations signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Nominations pass. Now, Stormwater Appeals Board, filling an unexpired term expiring 1 of 29. Term expiring Davis Lamb. Nomination is Drew Luna. Got a proper motion made by Commissioner Megan Guffey and seconded by Commissioner Tom Tunnicliffe. Any questions or comments on that nomination? Seeing none, if you're ready to vote, if you're in favor of the nomination, signify by pressing your yes button. Any opposed, your no. Anyone wishing to change their vote, please do so at this time. Record the vote, please, Mr. Whitby.
21 yes, 0 no.
Nomination is approved. Moving on, under County Commission, the Library Board of Trustees. These are 3-year terms expiring 6 of 29. Terms expiring are Terry Hood, Lauren Aiello, Delois Branton, and then nominations are Terry Hood, Lauren Aiello, and Sheila Arnold. Any questions or comments on those nominations? I see you up here. I see 2 up here.
I noticed that they spelled Miss Laurel's name, Lauren here, and then Laurel, and down below is more detail. So I wondered if the name Lauren.
Well, we'll get it straight from the source because the next speaker in line is her son, Sean Aiello.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I have on good authority the name is Laurel.
Laurel,
Aiello.
okay.
It has been for some time.
Are you sure about that?
Mildly sure, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mildly sure that it is Laurel instead of Lauren, so we'll correct that typo. Any other comments or questions on those nominations? Seeing none, if you're ready to vote, if you're in favor of those nominations, signify by pressing your yes button. Any opposed, your no. Anyone wishing to change their vote, please do so at this time. Record the vote, please, Mr. Whitby.
21 yes, 0 no.
Nominations are approved. Next, we have the Hospital Board of Trustees. This is a 3-year term expiring 5 of 29. Term expiring currently is Juanita Patton. The nomination is Juanita Patton. I have a proper motion made by Commissioner Steve Smith and seconded by Commissioner Megan Guffey. Questions or comments on this nomination? First one goes to Commissioner Greg Lawrence.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is no reflection on Miss Juanita Patton at all. I don't actually know her, but I understand she's a very well-respected member of this board. But one of the things we're really blessed with in the community we live in is a lot of retired healthcare executives that have spent a lot of years in the hospital industry. And we're faced with a very important decision, very possibly faced with one of the biggest decisions this commission may ever make in the next few months. And I think it would be good to have a very seasoned executive on that board to help us make that decision. And Fortunately, we have a man by the name of Rob Wampler here tonight who has volunteered to join the board if we should nominate him tonight for the board. And I've asked Rob to be here and to speak a little bit about, I sent you all his resume this afternoon, but I've also asked him to be here tonight just to speak for a few minutes about his career in the hospital industry.
And I'm told that the chair makes a decision on that, recognizing that Juanita Patton is not here tonight, probably not realizing that there would be another nominee. I am going to go ahead and allow, if he is here and wishes to speak briefly, keeping it under 2 minutes, Mr. Waffler. Is Mr. Waffler here? Am I saying your last name correctly? Is it Waffler?
Wampler.
Wampler, I'm sorry.
It's Wampler. Thank you. Thank you for the time to speak. Thank you, Mr. Lawrence, for allowing me to come. I've spent 35 plus years of my life in healthcare. I started out as a controller in 1990 for Community Health Systems when it was privately held. Worked my way up over the 10 years to be a CEO in one of their hospitals in East Tennessee in Morristown. In 2000, I got the opportunity to come to Nashville as a regional CFO. From there, for the last 25, 26 years, you can see my resume, I've been in various positions. As my last position was over community hospitals over in 13 states. I think I have been responsible for hospitals in about 22 states over my 26 years in healthcare. I've lived here since 2000. I want to, continue to live here, raise my kids here, and I want to make sure that the Williamson County Health Hospital maintains or stays here, whether it's privately or whether it's not for profit. Those decisions obviously need to be made over the next few months, but there's a lot of things that go into making that decision. I have been associated with more than a dozen acquisitions of locally owned hospitals, working in the private equity world. And I can tell you there's a lot of things that you need to think about when you are selling your hospital. And there's a lot of things that can be set up to ensure that if you do sell your hospital, how the community continues through a foundation, gets supported for the indigent and the low-paying care. So I'm retired as of January. I saw this the other day and reached out today. Didn't realize there was a timeline on that. But I feel like you're not going to find anybody that has been associated with acquiring more than 12 or more hospitals, who's been set in a CEO seat, CFO seat, and has had regional responsibilities like I have. Mr. Mosley and I have known one another for about 35 years. I think he can vouch for my experience. He and I both have aged over the last 35 years, got a few more white hairs. Hopefully there's a little wisdom in that. But I do appreciate you allowing me to speak tonight, and hopefully you'll consider me. If not, that's fine, but I do feel like I can bring something to the table that someone who has not had healthcare experience can. Be glad to ask and answer any questions.
Thank you, Mr. Wampler. The motion from Mr. Wampler, and I'm told we don't need a second, was made by Commissioner Lawrence. This is all sort of new to me. We don't normally have questions and comments here, but you've asked and I have one. So Commissioner Greg Sanford, please.
I'm just going to second Mr. Wampler's nomination. He's a friend of mine. He's a neighbor of mine. Known him for many, many years. Upstanding guy, and he's solid. So I fully support this. I don't know Ms. Patton from anyone, but I strongly support Mr. Wampler for this.
All right. Any other questions or comments from Mr. Wampler? I see none. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Yeah, we're going to have to do this one by roll call. In Juanita Patton's absence, I know she's got a bio sheet that was included in your packet. been a member of the community for, I think she's a third or fourth generation Williamson County resident, has been involved in Franklin Tomorrow and many other fundraiser nonprofits in Franklin. Again, she's not here tonight, but we'll be voting on Juanita Patton or Mr. Wampler. And we live in a community with lots of very, very talented people. And that makes our job hard sometimes when you have this many talented people to choose from, such a large pool. It can be difficult. But we're going to make that decision now, and we're going to do it by roll call. And with that, I'll hand it over to you, Mr. Whitby.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we can have questions or comments since we did on Mr. Wampler, if anybody wants to have a question or comment either on Juanita Patton or the process that we're about to enter into as a whole. Just press your wish to speak button. Anybody wishing to make a comment or a question? I see none. So we'll go ahead and proceed with the roll call vote. Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Commissioner Hester.
Thank you. I've known Juanita Patton for years and years. She has been a faithful banker and contributed to the community in many different ways. I know now she is on the honorary board for Waves, which is a local organization founded in Fairview and provides assistance for special needs clients and also housing. She's sterling. I know her. I'm sorry, I don't know Mr. Wampler at all. Never heard of him. I think we should have had more time to consider him. I'm sure he's a wonderful gentleman, but I just don't like this situation. Thank you.
Any other questions or comments? Commissioner Clifford.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I guess I'm just curious about the timeline now, because we do have two nominations, one that was just brought. I feel ill-prepared to vote on it, frankly. If we were to defer it, what are the implications of that?
I'll refer to council.
Obviously, it would be deferred to a date specific, assuming August or July would be the next meeting at which you could hear that, because the June 18th meeting is limited to the budget only, so it would have to go to July. It would not impact Ms. Patton's service on the board in the interim. Pursuant to the Private Act and their bylaws, she serves until her successor, whether it's her or Mr. Wampler, would be elected by this body. So there would be no interruption in service.
You have further question or comment? You're still on.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. In that instance, I'll make a motion to defer the appointment to the next county commission meeting.
I have a proper motion to defer this appointment. Do I hear a second? Second from Commissioner Cardin. What was that?
Not the next is.
Yeah, not the next commissioner meeting, because that'll be the big budget meeting, but the next monthly meeting, which is July, somebody help me out here, 8th? 13th, okay. So we've got a motion and a second to defer this nomination to July 13th. We need to do that by roll call, and before we go to a vote, okay. Commissioner Sanford.
We not suspend the rules for the 18th and hear it then?
If you have two objections, you can't. But you'd have to also then place it on the agenda and notice it for the 18th, for the publication. I don't know if that publication's already been made.
Well, it's 10 days, and we don't have 10 days.
My understanding is the deferral is to give us time to research the nominees. If it can be done by the 18th, then, and the original motion, Commissioner Clifford wishes to change his original motion to defer to July 13th, then he's welcome to do so. Yes, no, maybe?
So
Go ahead and turn him on, Commissioner Clifford. No, he's off now, isn't he? Oh, he's on, okay. You're on.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Just to confirm, council, the difference between June 18th and July 13th for the business case of serving on that board, will there be a difference?
None.
None at all? Okay. I'll go with July 13th. It'll give us more time to think about the candidates.
Okay, so the motion remains to defer to July 13th, and again, that was seconded by Commissioner Cardin. I'm guessing that was a motion from you to move it to the 18th of June, or just throwing it out there? Okay.
Make sure we can do it.
All right. Any questions or comments? Commissioner Hayes?
Yes, if we can have Juanita come speak, it'd be nice to hear from her, because like you, Commissioner Hester, I know nothing about her, so I appreciate that Greg brought Mr. Wampler forward. I would prefer someone with, especially in light of where we're at in our potential sale, I'd love to have somebody who has more relevant experience to serve on this very important board. So I welcome her to come speak on the July 13th.
Any other questions or comments? All right, and if that's the case, we will do a roll call vote on the motion to defer. Mr. Whitby. And again, this is on the motion to defer this nomination and the voting of the nominees until our next monthly meeting in July, July 13th.
Commissioner Aiello. Commissioner Beathard.
No.
Commissioner Cardin. Commissioner Clifford.
Yes.
Commissioner Guffey.
No.
Commissioner Hayes.
Yes.
Commissioner Herbert.
No.
Commissioner Hester.
I wish to defer this.
Okay, yes, ma'am, yes. Commissioner Jones.
Yes.
Commissioner Lawrence.
Yes.
Commissioner Mason.
Yes.
Commissioner Morton.
Yes.
Commissioner O'Neill.
Yes.
Commissioner Petty.
Yes.
Commissioner Sanford.
Yes.
Commissioner Mary Smith.
Yes.
Commissioner Steve Smith.
No.
Commissioner Stresser.
Yes.
Commissioner Tunnicliffe.
No.
Commissioner Webb.
No.
Commissioner Williams.
Yes.
I have 15 yes, 6 no.
And that's what I have as well. So the motion to defer passes, and we will hear that nomination at our next regularly scheduled monthly meeting in July. Last election or commission appointment I have is for Independent Audit Committee. This is a 3-year term expiring 6 of 29. Term expiring is Paul Bolin, and the nomination is Paul Bolin. I've got a motion made by Commissioner Steve Smith and seconded by Commissioner Megan Guffey. Any questions or comments on that nomination? Seeing none, if you're ready to vote, if you're in favor of the nomination, signify by pressing your yes button. Opposed, your no. Anyone wishing to change their vote, please do so at this time. Commissioner Herbert? Record the vote, please, Mr. Whitby.
21 yes, 0 no.
Nomination is approved. Moving on to the consent agenda, I'll entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda. Motion made by Commissioner Steve Smith, seconded by Commissioner Mary Smith. Yes.
Sorry to interrupt, but in the packet is my nomination for the Ag Board. I'm supposed to have been put on the
Oh.
thing back months ago, but it's not on the agenda, but my information's there, and I don't know if you want to vote on it now or how y'all want to do that.
I'm told we can't do it if it's not on the agenda because it's not been advertised, and I apologize for that. Oh, it was advertised.
It's just not on the agenda.
That was, yeah, the agenda was advertised, but this wasn't on it when it was advertised.
But the agenda doesn't actually get advertised, per se. You have a separate notice for elections.
It was on the note.
It was noticed on that? I don't remember.
So can we vote on it or no?
You're not supposed to, you would have to.
I'm sorry, it's not.
Your
It's
agenda's
not.
supposed to be published 5 days in advance.
I am, this is, again,
So it
to
needs
be
done in
reelected.
July.
It was not advertised.
Okay, so no, it needs to go to July.
Okay.
It wasn't advertised.
Oh, okay.
We apologize. Commissioner Herbert, we'll make sure that that one is on the agenda for the July meeting.
Thank you.
Again, the consent agenda, I already have a motion by Commissioner Steve Smith, seconded by Commissioner Mary Smith. Are there any questions or comments on the consent agenda? Commissioner Tunnicliffe.
Yes, I'll be abstaining just due to work.
Okay. Any other questions? Seeing none, if you're ready to vote, if you're in favor of approving the consent agenda, signify by pressing your yes button. Any opposed, your no. Anyone wishing to change their vote, please do so at this time. Commissioner Williams and Commissioner Clifford. There we go. Record the vote, please, Mr. Whitby.
20 yes, 0 no, 1 abstain.
And the motion passes. Moving on to unfinished business. There's that resolution. Well, I had it. All right. Resolution 626-1, formerly known as Resolution 326-1, and prior to that, Resolution 226-8, resolution authorizing the issuance, sale, and payment of not to exceed $17,850,000 of general obligation bonds of Williamson County, excuse me, Williamson County, Tennessee, and providing for the levy of taxes for the payment of that debt service on those bonds. Proper motion made by Commissioner Mary Smith and seconded by Commissioner Megan Guffey. The Budget Committee was 5-4-0 against. Explanation, please, Commissioner Morton.
Yes, this is the funding mechanism for a potential courthouse site.
First question or comment comes from Commissioner Greg Lawrence.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I see if Commissioner Aiello is up to speak too. He might be wanting to say the same thing, but Commissioner Aiello is doing a great job. We've got a task force that we put together to study all the options on the courthouse issue, and there's been a lot of discussions about different options, but the committee has not come to us with a recommendation yet. So I don't think it makes sense for us to vote on this tonight until we get a recommendation from that committee, and then we can move forward. So I'd like to motion that we defer this till the July meeting.
I have a motion to defer this resolution to July. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Heard seconds from Commissioner Aiello, and I'll also acknowledge Commissioner Stresser as a second as well. Any questions or comments on the motion to defer? And I see the July meeting, July 13th. Commissioner Aiello.
Yes, I mean, Commissioner Lawrence stole the words out of my mouth. We're going to be making recommendations on track for the July meeting. So any vote on this, I would support pushing out until July to see about the recommendations of the task force.
Any other questions or comments on the motion to defer? Need to do a voice vote?
No, if you can do it, yeah, voice vote.
You can.
Yeah. Let's start out with a voice vote and see how that goes, and if it looks close, we'll do a roll call vote. One last chance for questions or comments on the motion to defer. Seeing none, if you are in favor of deferring this resolution to the July meeting, signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed?
Aye.
Pass.
2. I'm going to declare that a pass on the side of the motion to defer, and we will defer this resolution to the July meeting. Next resolution is Resolution 62610, resolution appropriating and amending the 25-26 General Sessions budget by $2,500, revenues to come from probation fees. Proper motion made by Commissioner Steve Smith, seconded by Commissioner Greg Sanford. Law enforcement did not have a chance to hear it. Budget Committee was 5-4-0 against. Explanation, please, Commissioner Morton.
Oh, yeah, these are just funds for drug testing expenses.
Any questions or comments? Seeing none, if you're ready to vote, if you're in favor of the resolution, signify by pressing your yes button. Any opposed, your no. Anyone wishing to change their vote, please do so at this time. Commissioner Petty and Commissioner Hayes. Record the vote, please, Mr. Whitby.
21 yes, 0 no.
Resolution passes. Resolution 62611, resolution amending the 25-26 general purpose school fund budget by $4 million for letter grade bonus. Proper motion made by Commissioner Steve Smith, seconded by Commissioner Guy Carden. The school board was 10-4-0 against, Education Committee 5-4-0 against, Budget Committee 5-4-0 against. Explanation, please, Commissioner Morton.
Yes, these are the funds Mr. Golden explained to us for 33 schools having an A letter grade.
Any questions or comments? Seeing none, if you're ready to vote. Oh, sorry, Commissioner Lisa Hayes.
I was trying to find it, sorry.
No.
And excuse my just misunderstanding of this.
So what are we doing with the 4 million? Are we funding it, or are we just moving the money? That was what I didn't understand. Sorry, Jason, if you can help me out with that.
This revenue item is for this current budget year. It goes into our fund balance, which in turn will help us with next year's budget.
So we're getting this money from the state?
Correct.
Okay.
I just want to make sure I understood that. Thank you.
Any other questions or comments? Seeing none, if you're ready to vote, if you're in favor, signify by pressing your yes button. Opposed, your no. Anyone wishing to change their vote, please do so at this time. Commissioner Petty. Record the vote, please, Mr. Whitby.
21 yes, 0 no.
Resolution passes. Resolution 62612, resolution appropriating $2,400,000 in the 25-26 general purpose school operating budget for liability and property insurance claims. Proper motion made by Commissioner Steve Smith, seconded by Commissioner Ricky Jones. School board was 10-4-0 against, education was 5-4-0 against, budget committee was 5-4-0 against. Explanation, please, Commissioner Morton.
Nature of insurance is that sometimes those things are hard to guess, and we were under, and so we need this budget item to be able to cover those insurance expenses.
Any questions or comments? Commissioner Mary Smith.
Just kind of just wanted to know, is there more information we have? This seems like a significant amount that we were under. Was there something unusual this year that we saw? Because this seems like almost double, I think, what we normally.
Because it's a number of different items. Our risk management office gave us that. My understanding is it's a combination of an increase in premiums plus a couple of claims that we did not anticipate.
I guess my only concern is, like, are we making sure we're kind of getting to the root cause of some of these claims so that we can hopefully not see
Yes,
claims
we
like this in the
do.
future?
And to your point, they're unpredictable every year. These are county risk management issues, and we actually have one a little bit later on for special education. We serve maybe about 20 to 25% of our students with disabilities, and that's a $200,000 one, where the year before we were below budget. And so we always have conversations with risk management when there's an accident, and work to minimize that risk.
Okay, thank you.
Our risk manager is here, Jim Rural. I don't know if you'd be able to give any more insight to the question from Commissioner Mary Smith.
Thank you, Commissioners. On the increase, the premium that you're seeing is partially due to funding differences. 34% of the budget was appropriated to schools a year ago. It is based on claims, a 54% value. So the change in premium is rather significant, about a 20% swing. And we did have significant claim activity in the general liability arena area. So we have some tort cap claims that went through to the tune of almost $1 million.
Okay. Yeah, that was just what I was concerned with, is
Yeah.
if we've actually gotten to the root cause to some of the claims, so that we, if it's injuries, like if there's something that we were liable for, that it's been remedied.
We are, and we roundtable those on a monthly basis with the schools, with council. If they're in excess of our self-insured premium cap, we do refund some of that money.
Okay.
And it goes back to the school fund.
Okay.
Does that help?
Yep,
Thank you.
sure does, thank you.
Any other questions or comments? Seeing none, if you're ready to vote on Resolution 62612, if you're in favor, signify by pressing your yes button. Opposed, your no. Anyone wishing to change their vote, please do so at this time. Record the vote, please, Mr. Whitby.
21 yes, 0 no.
Resolution passes. Resolution 62613, resolution to transfer funds to the Rural and General Debt Service Fund to pay principal and interest on the Energy Systems Conservation debt in the tune of $1,183,842.58. Proper motion made by Commissioner Steve Smith and seconded by Commissioner Megan Guffey. School Board was 10-4, 0 against. Education Committee was 5-4, 0 against. Budget Committee was 5-4, 0 against as amended. Explanation, please, Commissioner Morton.
All right, be patient, follow me here. Budget Committee was 5-4-0 against as amended. Our amendment was to defer and forgive this amount owed by the schools. Currently, the county loans this money to the schools, they pay it back. In order for us to meet our budget numbers on the school side, we're asking the county side to forgive this amount. That's why budget voted to defer and forgive these amounts. Clear as mud? So I would like to amend the motion to defer and forgive this amount.
I have a proper motion. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Commissioner Steve Smith, seconded. Any questions or comments on the motion to forgive the amount of $1,183,842.58? Commissioner Greg Lawrence.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Just one quick question. So we're forgiving this amount so that it doesn't go to the school's budget next year? Is that what we're doing? No?
For the current year.
Current year, okay.
Commissioner Mary Smith.
So, net, debt service hasn't really changed. We're just kind of shifting from county to schools. Okay. Okay. I just needed the bottom line there. Okay. Thank you.
Any other questions or comments? Seeing none, if you are ready to vote and you are in favor of the motion to forgive the fiscal debt, signify by press. Is it loaded or do we have to do a voice vote?
Do you have it loaded?
She says it is loaded.
Yeah.
Okay, so it is loaded. If you're in favor of the motion,
The amendment.
It's up there to defer.
Oh, the amendment is up there.
looks like it's written correctly. If you're in favor of the amendment, signify by pressing your yes button. Opposed, your no.
It's not up.
Not popping up on our end. There it is. Anyone wishing to change their vote, please do so at this time. Commissioner Hester. Record the vote, please, Mr. Whitby.
20 yes, 1 no.
The amendment passes. We're now back to the original motion, original resolution as amended. Any questions or comments on the original resolution as amended? Seeing none, if you're ready to vote, if you're in favor of Resolution 62613 now as amended, signify by pressing your yes button once it pops up. And of course, any opposed, your no. There we go. Is this the right one?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. If you're in favor, signify by pressing your yes button. Opposed, your no. Anyone wishing to change their vote, please do so at this time. Record the vote, please, Mr. Whitby.
20 yes, 1 no.
Resolution passes. Resolution 62614, resolution appropriating $300,000 in the general purpose school fund budget from current revenues for related trustee commission. Proper motion comes in from Commissioner Steve Smith and seconded by Commissioner Tom Tunnicliffe. School Board was 9-4, 1 against. Education Committee was 4-4, 0 against. Budget Committee was 5-4, 0 against. Explanation, please, Commissioner Morton.
Yes, these are just trustee commission funds for the general purpose school fund budget.
Any questions or comments? Seeing none, if you're ready to vote, if you're in favor, signify by pressing your yes button. Opposed, your no. Anyone wishing to change their vote, please do so at this time. Record the vote, please, Mr. Whitby.
21 yes, 0 no.
Resolution passes. Resolution 62615, resolution amending the 25-26 general purpose school budget by $200,000 for additional SSS expenses. This one does have a typo that I'm told we can clear up after tonight. Down at the bottom for expenditure, SSS is incorrectly spelled out as OCS. I have a proper motion by Commissioner Steve Smith, seconded by Commissioner Tom Tunnicliffe. School Board was 9-4, 1 against. Education Committee was 5-4, 0 against. Budget Committee was 5-4, 0 against. Explanation, please, Commissioner Morton.
Yes, Superintendent Golden just referenced this a couple of minutes ago. These are some unanticipated costs for student support services.
Any questions or comments? Seeing none, if you're ready to vote, if you're in favor, signify by pressing your yes button. Opposed, your no. Anyone wishing to change their vote, please do so at this time. Record the vote, please, Mr. Whitby.
21 yes, 0 no.
Resolution passes. Resolution 62616, resolution appropriating and amending the 25-26 Rural Debt Service Fund by $506,073 for interest payments, revenues to come from undesignated fund balance. Proper motion made by Commissioner Guy Carden, seconded by Commissioner Tom Tunnicliffe. Budget Committee was 5-4, 0 against. Explanation, please, Commissioner Morton.
This is just paying the interest on the bonds from last year.
Any questions or comments? Seeing none, if you're ready to vote, if you're in favor, signify by pressing your yes button. Opposed, your no. Anyone wishing to change their vote, please do so at this time. Commissioner Mary Smith. Record the vote, please, Mr. Whitby.
21 yes, 0 no.
Resolution passes. Resolution 62617, resolution appropriating and amending the 25-26 Election Commission budget by $267,626.45. Revenues to come from municipal reimbursement and county general fund balance. Proper motion made by Commissioner Mary Smith, seconded by Commissioner Tom Tunnicliffe. The Budget Committee was 5-4, 0 against. Explanation, please, Commissioner Morton.
Yes, these are just necessary funds for City of Franklin elections and local primaries.
Any questions or comments? Seeing none, if you're ready to vote, if you're in favor, signify by pressing your yes button. Opposed, your no. Anyone wishing to change their vote, please do so at this time. Commissioner Mason and Commissioner Guffey. Record the vote, please, Mr. Whitby.
21 yes, 0 no.
Resolution passes. Resolution 62618, resolution appropriating and amending the 25-26 excess risk insurance in the solid waste fund, totaling $319,898.57. Revenues to come from insurance recoveries and unappropriated solid waste fund balance. Proper motion made by Commissioner Sean Aiello, seconded by Commissioner Steve Smith. Purchasing and insurance was 3-4, 0 against. Budget Committee was 5-4, 0 against. Explanation, please, Commissioner Aiello.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Pretty self-explanatory. Excess risk insurance claims have exceeded budget projections, and because of that, they are now available for appropriating for general current claims and year-end accrual as detailed in the resolution.
Any questions or comments? Seeing none, if you're ready to vote, if you're in favor, signify by pressing your yes button. Opposed, your no. Anyone wishing to change their vote, please do so at this time. Commissioner Jones. Record the vote, please, Mr. Whitby.
21 yes, 0 no.
Resolution passes. Resolution 62619, resolution accepting donations totaling $50,000 from various citizens of Williamson County and appropriating and amending the 25-26 Animal Center budget by $50,000. Revenues to come from donations. Proper motion made by Commissioner Tom Tunnicliff, seconded by Commissioner Guy Carden. Public Health did not meet for lack of a quorum. Budget Committee was 5-4-0 against. Explanation, please, Commissioner Morton.
Yes, these are unrestricted donations to the Animal Center. I believe they intend to use it for an access road.
Any questions or comments? Seeing none, if you're ready to vote, if you're in favor, signify by pressing your yes button. Opposed, your no. Anyone wishing to change their vote, please do so at this time. Commissioner Stresser. Yeah, you got to try the little trick sometimes. Record the vote, please, Mr. Whitby.
21 yes, 0 no.
Resolution passes. Resolution 62620, resolution appropriating and amending the 25-26 Health Department budget by $993.57. Revenues to come from donations. Proper motion made by Commissioner Guy Carden, seconded by Commissioner Tom Tunnicliff. Public Health Committee did not meet for lack of a quorum. Budget Committee was 5-4-0 against. Explanation, please, Commissioner Morton.
It's a quarterly amount we get from the Tennessee Department of Health for child safety seats.
Any questions or comments? Seeing none, if you're ready to vote, if you're in favor, signify by pressing your yes button. Opposed, your no. Anyone wishing to change their vote, please do so at this time. Record the vote, please, Mr. Whitby.
21 yes, 0 no.
Resolution passes. Resolution 62621, resolution authorizing Williamson County to participate in an education incentive program by matching the state incentive payment for qualified volunteer firefighters and establishing a similar program for qualified emergency response personnel in Williamson County, and appropriating and amending the 25-26 public safety budget, revenues to come from state of Tennessee and unappropriated county general fund balance. Proper motion made by Commissioner Greg Sanford and seconded by Commissioner Tom Tunnicliff. Law enforcement was 3-4-0 against. Budget Committee was 5-4-0 against. I do believe there's a typo in the last, and be it further resolved, again, one that we can correct after this evening, where the fiscal year is noted as 24 to 25 instead of 25 to 26. And with that explanation, please, Commissioner Tunnicliff.
Yeah, this is just allowing us to match the state funds for our emergency management folks involved in this resolution.
Commissioner Greg Sanford.
I will be voting my conscience. As most of y'all know, I'm a lieutenant with the Harrington Volunteer Fire Department, and I've never taken this money since day one.
Any other questions or comments? Seeing none, if you're ready to vote, if you're in favor of Resolution 62621, press your yes button. Yeah, opposed, your no. Anyone wishing to change their vote, please do so at this time. Commissioner Matt Williams. Record the vote, please, Mr. Whitby.
21 yes, 0 no.
Resolution passes. Resolution 62622, resolution appropriating and amending the 25-26 Parks and Recreation Capital Improvement Program by $600,000, revenues to come from recreation fees. Proper motion made by Commissioner Tom Tunnicliff and seconded by Commissioner Guy Carden. Parks and Rec was 4-4-0 against. Budget Committee was 5-4-0 against. Explanation, please, Commissioner Morton.
Yes, this is a proposal to use some of the proceeds from the Renaissance Festival for some improvements out at Castle Park. And there's a breakdown that Parks and Rec has provided that should be on everybody's desk, I believe, breaking that out.
And I believe I misspoke on the Parks and Rec. They voted for to defer. 4 in favor, 0 against to defer the resolution. The Budget Committee was 5-4-0 against for the resolution. Any questions or comments? Commissioner Lisa Hayes.
I know in the Parks and Rec, thank you, Chair, meeting, we discussed, thank you for the list, by the way, but we discussed what would be, if you had to rank what you thought to be the most important, what would those be, so that we not have to spend this much money. Another discussion is that the family that we purchased the property through, the first 1 through 5 years, we pay 25% ticket sales, and then 6 through 10, we pay 10%. So next year, we'll have more money in our pocket to cover some of these things from ticket sales. That was part of the discussion, just to kind of educate people who weren't at the Parks and Rec meeting.
So we were asking, could you defer some of these for next year? And if so, what would those look like?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Commissioner Hayes, I've listed a priority here, and our priority would be, one, all the stages. They're structurally probably beyond life cycle at this point. And then the Diaz, which is the entrance to the Joust Field, and then the Hammer Beam and the entrance bridge, and probably the water lines. We feel like the 600,000, we haven't done any major renovations at the castle at the park for over 2 years, and we've done some maintenance items, but these are things we feel like are necessary that we have to do. Just looking at our revenues over the last 5 years, the Renaissance Festival, in year one, when we had this festival, we did 1.8 million, and this year we're approaching $2.6 million. So we've had an increase of about 43%. Total revenue's been 10.5 million, and we're looking at around a gross profit margin of about 55%.
And the increase was also due to, wasn't there additional days?
We added 2 days, but even without the 2 days this year, because the weekend, we had an additional weekend in the month of May, and we'll also have 11 days again in 2027. So our revenues were 1.8, 1.9, 2, 2.2, and 2.5 the last 5 years.
Okay.
So that's credited to the staff. I mean, they do a really good job of finding the entertainment and getting new vendors. We feel like this work is important to continue to make the park safer, improve the venue for the customers, for the vendors. We did almost $235,000 in revenue this year just in vendor revenue. So we feel like we'll continue to grow the revenue at this park and at this festival, and then we have other things that we're thinking about doing out there for other events. So we think this is important for us to do.
Thank you.
Commissioner Mary Smith.
Thank you, Rick, so much for putting this together. I really appreciate it. It does help. But it looks like at the balance, you're looking at 125,000 that you don't have. So based on what you just said, even if we took out the 3 items that you didn't mention, you're still only going to save us like $20,000, if my math's right.
Yeah, I mean, we just asked for 600,000. We probably see a little more work in the following year, so I just put all of it together that we had.
So there's a likelihood you're going to have to defer some of it anyway if things come in.
I wouldn't say defer. I think we could spend all of this 600,000 in this next year. I'm saying we may need more in the following years to do other improvements like electrical and water and plant some trees. We've lost a lot of trees from this ice storm this past year, and then all the emerald ash borer infestation that's been in the park. We've had to cut down a lot of trees. I mean, we were required to do that. There's nothing we can do about that, but we do need to do some of that as well.
Yeah. I guess I'll reword that you're already going to possibly come up short, even with the list of things that you'd like to do this year. So the 600,000 is just kind of a starting point for the things that you guys need to do.
Yes, ma'am.
For the festival. Okay, thank you.
Commissioner Greg Lawrence.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So this may be relevant to this question. In the email we got last week, you're referencing the payment to the Freemans, and let's see what the number is. Some of that's coming out of the gross ticket revenue, and some of it's coming out of the park's budget. So why are you splitting that up? Why aren't you taking the whole amount out of the ticket revenue?
We had funds in our budget in one of the line items to be able to cover $177,000, so that's why we were only asking for $400,000 from the revenue.
Okay. So I guess is it possible that there may be some more money in the other bucket to pay for some of this from the revenues, or because you didn't take it out of revenues?
No, we didn't take it. We don't need to take it all out of revenue because we had funds in one of our line items, 531,000. So we have 184,000 currently in the budget that we can use to pay for this.
Okay, so where did the 100, I guess my question is, where is the 177 that came from revenues? Is that
No,
going
this is
in-
not from revenues.
Hi, thank you, Commissioner Lawrence. So we went ahead and estimated, so that 175 that Rick is mentioning was already in the original budget. So we went ahead and projected. We know we're going to have to pay the Freemans every year. We just do not know how much. So I had went ahead and budgeted that amount, so
Okay.
we would not have to pull quite as much from fund balance.
Okay, that
Or
answers my
revenues.
question. All right,
Thank
thank you.
Commissioner Sanford.
Just out of curiosity, have we looked at selling alcohol out there to help supplement some of this expenditure?
No, we have not.
Maybe we should.
Any other questions or comments? I see none. If you're ready to vote, if you're in favor of Resolution 62622, signify by pressing your yes button. If you're opposed, your no. Anyone wishing to change their vote, please do so at this time. Record the vote, please, Mr. Whitby.
19 yes, 2 no.
Resolution passes. Resolution 62623, resolution appropriating and amending the 25-26 Parks and Recreation budget by $215,000, revenues to come from parks and recreation fees. Proper motion made by Commissioner Tom Tunnicliffe, seconded by Commissioner Steve Smith. Parks and Rec Committee was 4-0 against. Budget Committee was 5-0 against. Explanation, please, Commissioner Morton.
Yes, these are revenues from the Performing Arts Center and for uses out at the Performing Arts Center.
Any questions or comments? Seeing none, if you're ready to vote, if you're in favor, signify by pressing your yes button. Opposed, your no. Anyone wishing to change their vote, please do so at this time. Commissioner Herbert and Commissioner Hester. Record the vote, please, Mr. Whitby.
21 yes, 0 no.
Resolution passes. Resolution 62624, resolution appropriating and amending the 25-26 Parks and Recreation budget by $331,246.77. Revenues to come from donations. Proper motion made by Commissioner Tom Tunnicliffe, seconded by Commissioner Steve Smith. Parks and Rec was 4-0 against. Budget Committee was 5-0 against. Explanation, please, Commissioner Morton.
Yes, these are funds we've received from various community youth associations, the Kite Festival, and the Tennessee Senior Olympics, and then the breakdown on where those funds are going.
Any questions or comments? Seeing none, if you're ready to vote, if you're in favor, signify by pressing your yes button. Opposed, your no. Anyone wishing to change their vote, please do so at this time. Record the vote, please, Mr. Whitby.
21 yes, 0 no.
Resolution passes. Resolution 62625, resolution appropriating and amending the 25-26 Parks and Rec budget by $375,000, revenues to come from parks and recreation participant fees. Proper motion made by Commissioner Steve Smith, seconded by Commissioner Guy Carden. Parks and Rec Committee was 4-0 against. Again, was this to defer? Is that what I've got noted here?
I think that was a
Any-
mistake. We thought this was the resolution, but we
Oh.
were talking about the other one. actually,
Okay.
so.
All right, Parks and Rec voted 4 in favor, 0 against. Budget Committee, 5 in favor, 0 against, as amended. Explanation, please, Commissioner Morton.
As I noted just a few minutes ago, it's been very, very successful. So the ticket sales were even higher than anticipated than that budgeted amount. So at budget, we approved it at $400,000 instead of $375,000. So I would like to move to amend this motion to be for an amount of $400,000.
Got a proper motion. Do I hear a second? Second comes from Commissioner Megan Guffey. Any questions or comments on the motion to increase the total amount from $375,000 to $400,000? I see none. Is this one loaded?
Should be.
Okay, it is loaded. If you're in favor of the motion to amend, signify by pressing your yes button when it pops up. If you're opposed, your no. There we go. And anyone wishing to change their vote, please do so at this time. Record the vote, please, Mr. Whitby.
21 yes, 0 no.
So the amendment Motion to amend passes. We're now back to the resolution now as amended. Again, resolution appropriating and amending the 25-26 Parks and Rec budget now by $400,000, revenues to come from those same parks and recreation participant fees. Any questions or comments on the resolution now as amended? Seeing none, if you're ready to vote, if you're in favor of the amended resolution, signify by pressing your yes button. Opposed, your no. There we go. If you're in favor, press your yes button. Opposed, your no. Anyone wishing to change their vote, please do so at this time. Record the vote, please, Mr. Whitby.
21 yes, 0 no.
Resolution passes. Resolution 62626, resolution appropriating and amending the 25-26 budget by $20,000, revenues to come from opioid abatement funds. Proper motion made by, we've got a different screen up here now. I'll take a vocal motion. Oh, here we go. Oh, no.
Has anybody made a motion?
Well, they're not able to. It's not on the screen. They're still asking us to vote.
On the last one, yeah.
I'll take a verbal motion in a second. Motion made originally by Greg Sanford, seconded by Greg Lawrence. Any questions or comments? Oh, I'm sorry. The opioid abatement task force was 9-4-0 against. Budget committee was 5-4-0 against. Explanation, please, Commissioner Morton.
Yes, this is just to use opioid funds for emergency housing stipends for veterans.
Now, any questions or comments? Seeing none, if you're ready to vote, if you're in favor, signify by pressing your yes button. Opposed, your no. Anyone wishing to change their vote, please do so at this time. Record the vote, please, Mr. Whitby.
21 yes, 0 no.
Resolution passes. Resolution 62627, resolution appropriating and amending the 25-26 Administration of Justice budget by $6,520, revenues to come from unappropriated general fund balance. Proper motion made by Commissioner Guy Carden, seconded by Commissioner Steve Smith. Budget committee was 5-4-0 against. Explanation, please, Commissioner Morton.
Yes, this is just paying out accrued vacation time for a long-term courthouse employee.
Any questions or comments? Seeing none, if you're ready to vote, if you're in favor, signify by pressing your yes button. Opposed, your no. Anyone wishing to change their vote, please do so at this time. Record the vote, please, Mr. Whitby.
21 yes, 0 no.
Resolution passes. Resolution 62628, resolution amending the 25-26 County General Fund budget and appropriating $277,136.42 for personnel, contracted services, and maintenance needs during Winter Storm Fern. Revenues to come from general fund balance. Proper motion made by Commissioner Tom Tunnicliffe and seconded by Commissioner Guy Carden. Budget committee was 5-4-0 against as amended. And that amendment, I'm told, is on your desk, if it wasn't in your packet originally. Explanation, please, Commissioner Morton.
Yes, these are just ongoing expenses from Winter Storm Fern. The Budget Committee did approve it, and so I would move that it be increased by $1,667 for overtime with the Sheriff's Department, bringing it to a total of $278,803.42.
Got a proper motion. Do I hear a second? Second came from, was that Tunnicliffe? Commissioner Tunnicliffe? Any questions or comments on the amendment to increase the total by $1,667? Seeing none, if you're ready to vote. Okay, that was a motion or something from before. Seeing none, if you're ready to vote on the amendment and you're in favor of it, signify by pressing your yes button. Opposed, your no. Anyone wishing to change their vote, please do so at this time. Commissioner Ricky Jones. Record the vote, please, Mr. Whitby.
21 yes, 0 no.
The amendment passes. Back to the resolution now as amended. Any questions or comments? Seeing none, if you are ready to vote and you're in favor of the resolution now as amended, signify by pressing your yes button. If you're opposed, your no. Anyone wishing to change their vote, please do so at this time. Commissioner Matt Williams. Record the vote, please, Mr. Whitby.
21 yes, 0 no.
Resolution passes. Resolution 62629, resolution appropriating and amending the 25-26 county general miscellaneous budget by $45,000. Revenues to come from unappropriated county general funds. Proper motion made by Commissioner Tom Tunnicliff and seconded by Commissioner Lisa Hayes. Budget Committee was 5-4-0 against. Explanation, please, Commissioner Morton.
Yes, under the agreement with the City of Franklin, we split profits and losses. You heard that profit from last month, $32,000. This is just setting aside funds in case we have losses by the end of the fiscal year.
Any questions or comments? Commissioner Petty.
Yeah, there's a typo at the bottom of this. They have listed Elaine Anderson as county clerk and Tommy Little as commission chairman.
Wow.
Now, maybe, I'm assuming at some point those people were there, but I thought we might want to make that correction. I don't know, so.
And I think I heard,
Hopped in a
I think I heard Commissioner Tunnicliff say those were the days.
Yeah. We thought they would never end, right?
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
We'll make that correction. Any other questions or comments? Seeing none, if you're ready to vote, if you're in favor of Resolution 62629, signify by pressing your yes button. Opposed, your no. Anyone wishing to change their vote, please do so at this time. Let's see. Commissioner Sanford? It's all right. Record the vote, please, Mr. Whidbey.
20 yes, 0 no, 1 abstain.
Resolution passes. Resolution 62630, resolution appropriating and amending the 25-26 county attorney's budget by $190,000. Revenues to come from unappropriated county general funds. Proper motion made by Commissioner Steve Smith and seconded by Commissioner Jennifer Mason. Budget Committee was 5-4-0 against. Explanation, please, Commissioner Morton.
These are just additional legal expenses. Council is here if we need further explanation.
Any questions or comments? Commissioner Mary Smith.
No, the increase this year.
I'll let Phoebe do it. A lot of this is Jesse Neal, some of it's litigation.
Yes, thank you. So we are currently not over budget, but I also have 2 months' worth of bills that are outstanding. We have had some litigation costs due to some ADA claims. The property assessor has had some claims and litigation. So this is just to get us through the next 2 months because we are right there on the border.
Okay, thank you.
Commissioner Lisa Hayes.
I think she answered my question. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Any other questions or comments? I see none. If you're ready to vote and you're in favor, signify by pressing your yes button. If you're opposed, your no. Anyone wishing to change their vote, please do so at this time. Record the vote, please, Mr. Whidbey.
21 yes, 0 no.
Resolution passes. Resolution 62631, resolution appropriating and amending the 25-26 General Debt Service Fund by $515,235 for interest payments, revenues to come from undesignated fund balance. Proper motion made by Commissioner Mary Smith and seconded by Commissioner Steve Smith. Budget Committee was 5-4-0 against. Explanation, please, Commissioner Morton.
Earlier, we had the mirror motion and resolution on this for the rural debt. This is on our general obligation bonds.
Any questions or comments? Commissioner Mary Smith.
Yeah, so I just want to clarify, because we had $109 million in the budget for debt service. Does this mean that between these two, we're actually up to $110 million for this year's debt service payments?
Bonds at the first I think we did it in November this year. So we have to make that first month, that 6-month interest payment. And of course, we don't know what that is because we don't know what we're going to bond each year. So this is to cover the newly issued bond for the year.
Okay, so what is our total for debt service then for this fiscal year?
I do not have that with me in front of me. We are down, our balance, our overall outstanding is lower than what it was last fiscal year.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
Any other questions or comments? I see none. And if you're ready to vote and you're in favor, signify by pressing your yes button. Opposed, your no. Anyone wishing to change their vote, please do so at this time. Record the vote, please, Mr. Whidbey.
Sorry.
Resolution passes. Resolution 62632, resolution appropriating and amending the 25-26 Trustees Commission and the respective operating funds, revenues to come from fund balances in each respective fund. Proper motion made by Commissioner Steve Smith, seconded by Commissioner Tom Tunnicliff. The Budget Committee was 5-4-0 against. Explanation, please, Commissioner Morton.
Oh, yes, this is just allocating trustee commissions to the general fund, solid waste fund, highway, and general debt service.
Any questions or comments? Seeing none, if you're ready to vote, if you're in favor, signify by pressing your yes button. Opposed, your no. Anyone wishing to change their vote, please do so at this time. Commissioner Mary Smith. Record the vote, please, Mr. Whitby.
21 yes, 0 no.
Resolution passes. Resolution 62633, resolution appropriating and amending the 25-26 county clerk's budget by $60,000, revenues to come from reserve account. Proper motion made by Commissioner Greg Sanford and seconded by Commissioner Megan Guffey. The Budget Committee was 5-4-0 against. Explanation, please, Commissioner Morton.
Yes, this is just funds to pay staff for overtime to process car titles. Those fees are paid out of the license and filing fees paid by the registrants who get the cars.
Any questions or comments? Seeing none, if you're ready to vote, if you're in favor, signify by pressing your yes button. Opposed, your no. Anyone wishing to change their vote, please do so at this time. Commissioner Cardin. Record the vote, please, Mr. Whitby.
21 yes, 0 no.
Resolution passes. Late filed resolution 62651, resolution appropriating and amending the 25-26 Parks and Recreation Capital Improvement Program by $47,800, revenues to come from donations. Proper motion made by Commissioner Greg Lawrence and seconded by Commissioner Tom Tunnicliff. The Parks and Rec Committee was 4-4-0 against. Budget Committee was 5-4-0 against. Explanation, please, Commissioner Webb.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. This is the Brentwood Ball Club making a donation for historic Civitan Park improvements of this amount, which will be administered by our own Parks and Rec Department.
Any questions or comments? Seeing none, if you're ready to vote, if you're in favor, signify by pressing your yes button. Opposed, your no. Anyone wishing to change their vote, please do so at this time. Record the vote, please, Mr. Whitby.
21 yes, 0 no.
Resolution passes. Late filed resolution 62652, resolution appropriating and amending the 25-26 Health Department budget by $6,000, revenues to come from donations. Proper motion made by Commissioner Greg Sanford and seconded by Commissioner Steve Smith. Public Health did not meet for lack of a quorum. Budget Committee was 5-4-0 against. Explanation, please, Commissioner Webb.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. This is the annual Big Backpack Giveaway, and this year the $6,000 is from a donation from Cigna Life and Health Insurance.
Any questions or comments? Seeing none, if you're ready to vote, if you're in favor, signify by pressing your yes button. Opposed, your no. Anyone wishing to change their vote, please do so at this time. Record the vote, please, Mr. Whitby.
21 yes, 0 no.
Resolution passes. Late filed resolution 62653, resolution appropriating and amending the 25-26 Animal Center budget by $12,000, revenues to come from unappropriated county general funds. Proper motion made by Commissioner Tom Tunnicliff, seconded by Commissioner Guy Cardin. Budget Committee was 5-4-0 against. Explanation, please, Commissioner Webb.
This is at the Animal Center. They have a water leak in their irrigation line, and they're paying the city of Franklin for that service. And I understand that the director is trying to negotiate a lower amount from them. This is what they're currently being billed for this water leak.
Commissioner Mary Smith.
Is this on top of the 10,000 that we already approved previously? This water leak is getting expensive.
Yes, it is on top of what we've already paid for. We blew out the lines, obviously, for the winter. The city of Franklin bills 3 months behind. So when we turned the water back on, obviously we didn't know. This was from March. We didn't know that it was still leaking. We've been in contact with them every day, pretty much monitoring. They've replaced the meter. We have our irrigation line shut off at the Animal Center, but we also, that whole campus, so the archives property is also on the same bill. Kevin Benson's team has been out there. We've hired a leak detection company. Kevin, I think Kevin has the water cut off now. Kevin might want to come up. I think we have the water turned back off, but every time we turn it on, we're leaking about 600 gallons an hour.
And, yeah. So what is our typical annual water bill for the irrigation system?
Oh, typically about $2,000 a month.
So we've basically doubled our water bill due to an irrigation system that we had to provide.
We've more than doubled, so we had a little over $9,000 was our bill for March. So we had enough money in there to cover most of that bill, and then obviously with us them billing 3 months behind, we're anticipating the April bill will be due on June 30th, so we'll need money to cover that bill. Now, who knows what it will be? We're getting tower readings every single day, and our irrigation is cut off at the animal center, but there hasn't been a shut off, as I understand. I'll let Kevin speak to that, over at the archives building. So he's got all of the water cut off over there. So we're turning it off as we can, but of course they have to turn it back on when the leak detection folks come in.
So what we'll do, and this is typical with leaks with the city of Franklin, what we'll do is we'll ask them for some relief. So we'll go back and they have the usage, and then they'll give us some relief back. So we'll get some monies back from them on this issue. But yes, it has been an issue. We have the water system shut down. We're sequentially going through the process, starting at the main meter, which the city did voluntarily replace that meter reader, and then got another reading over the weekend. So we've got a gas system that will pump up the system. Our folks will do that. We'll put a line in there, pump up the system, and that way the detection company can go in there and better immediately access and where the leak is. And it needs to be done during times of very little usage because of the ground tremors that occur.
I think the interesting thing is that we have to have the irrigation system because of the design requirements, because of the city of Franklin, so that we can actually maintain the landscape that we're required to have our animal shelter there. So good business for them, I guess.
We're just in luck, though, this week and last week with the rain amounts, that this is the right time to fix it because it won't affect our landscape at this time.
That's good. Don't have to replace the landscape.
Any other questions or comments? Commissioner Webb, just to clarify, towards the end of your explanation, did you say, and I hear right, that there is some negotiation right now going on with the city of Franklin to maybe...
All right, that's what Kevin just said, that typically they renegotiate this when they have a water leak like this.
They have a leak, yeah. Well, hopefully they'll be able to do that in this case. Any other questions or comments? Seeing none, if you're ready to vote, if you're in favor, signify by pressing your yes button. Opposed, your no. Anyone wishing to change their vote, please do so at this time. Record the vote, please, Mr. Whitby.
21 yes, 0 no.
Resolution passes. Resolution 62634, resolution authorizing the Williamson County Mayor to execute a contract with the State of Tennessee Department of Children's Services for the provision and reimbursement of juvenile detention services. Proper motion made by Commissioner Tom Tunnicliffe, seconded by Commissioner Greg Lawrence. The Law Enforcement Public Safety Committee was 3-4-0 against. Budget Committee was 5-4-0 against. Explanation, please, Commissioner Tunnicliffe.
Yes, Chairman. This is a contract Juvenile Services has had with DCS for the last 13 years. It allows compensation to us for detention cost when a child has been placed into the custody of DCS and is awaiting permanent placement.
Any questions or comments? Seeing none, if you're ready to vote, if you're in favor, signify by pressing your yes button. Opposed, your no. Once it pops up, there it is. Anyone wishing to change their vote, please do so at this time. Commissioner Webb has stepped away for a second. I guess mark him as absent. There you go. Record the vote, please, Mr. Whitby.
20 yes, 0 no. One
Resolution
absent.
passes. Sure. Andrea, we've got another question
Sorry to
for you
interrupt.
from Commissioner Hayes.
We all might be interested in this update. I'm just curious about the bear situation I'm hearing about. Are we monitoring that? I mean, Ricky just whispered to me, and I'm like, it scares me too. I'm just not a bear person. But I was just curious since you're here.
That would be TWRA.
Okay.
We only do dogs and cats.
No sightings or, I've heard they're Dixon and Burns.
I know there's a confirmed sighting in Burns, but we have had black bears in the area for a long time. There have been sightings randomly throughout the community. I know we had one out in Commissioner Sanford and Commissioner Smith's district not too long ago as well. So they've been around. They're just maybe more people to see them.
So if we have a sighting, or if a constituent has a sighting, do we call you or do we call TWRA?
TWRA.
Thank you. Sorry.
And now I've lost my place. Where were we? A new resolution? 35, yeah. Resolution 62635, resolution authorizing the county mayor to execute a contract with AmWinds for the 26-27 Williamson County stop loss. Proper motion made by Commissioner Tom Tunnicliff and seconded by Commissioner Sean Aiello. The Purchasing and Insurance Committee was 3-4-0 against. Budget Committee 5-4-0 against. Explanation, please, Commissioner Aiello.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Williamson County offers group health and prescription drug insurance currently provided through Cigna Health and Life Insurance. We've received several competitive bids, and after recommendations for savings for the county, the Purchasing and Insurance has recommended the proposal of stop loss from AmWinds that has combined medical and pharmacy.
Question or comment from Commissioner Hayes?
My apologies, I had to go out of town for a funeral, but it was my understanding we targeted a bid price in the bid. Is that correct?
I would defer that.
Instead of having it an open.
Yeah. If I could defer.
Thank you.
Good evening. I'm not sure what you mean by bid price. You mean the
That we were
price per-
targeting a bid amount in the
So
RFP.
we do 400,000 per participant.
Okay.
And I don't know if that's what you're referring to. But what we did is we expanded the coverage to do medical and prescription, which is a little bit more than what we're paying, but it covers more of the risk that we have.
Okay. Can you tell me how many different companies bid on that?
Just 3, including Cigna, so there's 2 with Cigna.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Commissioner Megan Guffey.
Just a clarification, Gina. So I believe AmWinds, when they went out to bid for the stop loss in particular, the 400,000 that you're talking about was the specific stop loss level.
Correct.
Right, which is not a bid amount, it's the risk coverage amount.
Correct,
Per
yes.
individual
Yep.
covered on the plan. So that's one clarification. Then the second one is that AmWinds or Stealth, when they went out to market for the stop loss coverage, they went to multiple stop loss carriers.
Yes.
Right, so it wasn't just 3 responses. Stealth typically goes to a dozen or more.
Right. So
in
it'll
the
be
market.
underwritten by Sun Life.
Correct. Sun Life won the bid,
Yep.
but there was an RFP for that stop loss coverage that, was a dozen or more competitive bids.
Yes, that's correct.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you for clarifying.
Any other questions or comments? Seeing none, if you're ready to vote, if you're in favor, signify by pressing your yes button. Opposed, your no. Anyone wishing to change their vote, please do so at this time. Commissioner Petty. Record the vote, please, Mr. Whitby.
21 yes, 0 no.
Resolution passes. Resolution 62636, resolution authorizing the Williamson County Mayor to enter into a grant contract with the State of Tennessee Department of Health for local health services. Proper motion made by Commissioner Steve Smith and seconded by Commissioner Greg Sanford. The Public Health Committee did not have a quorum. Budget Committee was 5-4-0 against. Explanation, please, Commissioner Morton.
Yes, these are just the state funds for our county health department.
Any questions or comments? Seeing none, if you're ready to vote, if you're in favor, signify by pressing your yes button. Opposed, your no. Anyone wishing to change their vote, please do so at this time. Commissioner Lawrence. All right. Record the vote, please, Mr. Whitby.
21 yes, 0 no.
Resolution passes. Resolution 62637, resolution authorizing the Williamson County Mayor to execute a lease agreement with Williamson County Fair Association, Inc. Proper motion made by Commissioner Greg Lawrence and seconded by Commissioner Steve Smith. Property Committee was 3-4-0 against. Budget Committee was 4-4-0 against with 1 abstention. Explanation, please, Commissioner Morton.
Yes, this just allows the mayor to enter into a lease for the fair, for a mobile trailer and pole barn.
Any questions or comments? Commissioner Greg Sanford.
How much is the lease for? Was it $1 or something?
How much is the lease for? Is it saying here?
It doesn't, that's why I asked.
Riley, would you know, or the mayor?
You remember?
Nobody can answer.
Okay. Someone in here knows. Kevin knows everything.
It is $1, Commissioners.
Thank you.
$1. Then Paul Webb.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Serving as chair of the Williamson County Fair Association, I'll be abstaining on this vote.
Okay. Any other questions or comments? Seeing none, if you're ready to vote, if you're in favor, signify by pressing your yes button. Opposed, your no. Anyone wishing to change their vote, please do so at this time. Record the vote, please, Mr. Whitby.
19 yes, 2 abstain.
Resolution passes. Resolution 62638, resolution authorizing the Williamson County Mayor to enter into a grant agreement with the State of Tennessee Department of Military and Tennessee Emergency Management Agency for the Emergency Management Performance Grant. Proper motion made by Commissioner Steve Smith and seconded by Commissioner Greg Lawrence. Law enforcement was 3-4-0 against. Budget committee was 5-4-0 against. Explanation, please, Commissioner Tunnicliffe.
Yeah, FEMA is providing funds to subsidize the Williams County Emergency Management Agency through Emergency Management Performance Grant.
Any questions or comments? Seeing none, if you're ready to vote, if you're in favor, signify by pressing your yes button. Opposed, your no. Anyone wishing to change their vote, please do so at this time. Record the vote, please, Mr. Whitby.
21 yes, 0 no.
Resolution passes. Resolution 62639, resolution accepting the generous donation of Purina dog food from Tractor Supply on behalf of the Williamson County Sheriff's Office. Proper motion made by Commissioner Tom Tunnicliffe and seconded by Commissioner Steve Smith. Budget committee was 5-4-0 against. Explanation, please, Commissioner Morton.
Yes, as you'll hear in a second, the Sheriff's Department has a new dog, and that dog needs to be fed, and Tractor Supply was willing to provide some dog food.
Any questions or comments? Seeing none, if you're ready to vote, if you're in favor, signify by pressing your yes button. If you're opposed, your no button. Anyone wishing to change their vote, please do so at this time. Commissioner Petty. Record the vote, please, Mr. Whitby.
21 yes, 0 no.
Resolution passes. Resolution 62640, resolution accepting a donation of a trained Labrador Retriever, canine, on behalf of the Williamson County Sheriff's Office. Proper motion made by Commissioner David O'Neill, seconded by Commissioner Greg Lawrence. Budget committee was 5-4-0 against. Explanation, please, Commissioner Morton.
Well, now that we have all this dog food, we should accept Scout, Labrador Retriever. I think they're going to use Scout with the school resource officers.
Any questions or comments? Seeing none, if you're ready to vote, if you're in favor, signify by pressing your yes button. Opposed, your no. Anyone wishing to change their vote, please do so at this time. Commissioner Matt Williams. Record the vote, please, Mr. Whitby.
21 yes, 0 no.
Resolution passes. Resolution 62641, resolution amending the rules, regulations, and procedures of the Williamson County Board of Commissioners concerning public comment at committee meetings. Proper motion made by Commissioner Tom Tunnicliffe, seconded by Commissioner Guy Carden. The Rules Committee was 4-4-0 against. Explanation, please, Commissioner Morton.
Yes, State of Tennessee has amended what public comment can be on. It can now be anything germane to the commission instead of just things on the agenda. So we're just going to align our rules to meet up with state law.
Any questions or comments? Commissioner Hayes.
Thank you, Chair. I am curious, in number 2 below, was that also mentioned in the state law? Where we're deleting number 6?
It's probably a question for you.
No, that's our rule.
It was not mandated that that be taken out because it was never included. What this does, though, is take the enforcement mechanism away when someone is not speaking. Before, if it wasn't germane to the agenda, the chairman could say that was out of order. Being that limitation is removed, so is the enforcement mechanism that goes with it.
Okay. Thank you. I was just curious.
Commissioner Mary Smith.
Yeah, I just wanted to share that this did come up and there was some concerns. And I just want to clarify that this is to kind of broaden the ability for the public to be able to come in and comment on things that we may or may not vote on, but just to share their concerns, and that as a body, we would respect the ability of our citizens to be able to do that.
Commissioner
Just wanna
Petty.
share that.
I'm sorry.
Problems with public comments where we had to shut somebody off or they came in and said something inappropriate? I'm unaware of it. None of the meetings I've ever been to that's happened. I'm just curious.
None that I'm aware of either,
So,
Mr.
I
Petty.
mean, I'm just wondering, what's the point of this? I mean, is it something we have to do? Is the state demanding that we do this, or?
Yes. It's a
Okay.
state law.
Okay. Let me make sure I understood.
Any other questions or comments? Seeing none, if you're ready to vote, if you're in favor, signify by pressing your yes button. Opposed, your no. Anyone wishing to change their vote, please do so at this time. Record the vote, please, Mr. Whitby.
21 yes, 0 no.
Resolution passes. Resolution 62642, resolution requiring annual review and approval by the Board of Commissioners of any county lobbying services contract and requiring an annual report to the County Commission regarding legislative advocacy activities and county benefits. Proper motion made by Commissioner Greg Lawrence, seconded by Commissioner Greg Sanford. This one failed in budget for lack of a motion. Explanation, please, Commissioner Petty.
Yeah, okay, well, the reason that I brought this up is I didn't even know that we had a lobbyist until several months ago. And I've noticed that since I've been on the board the last year and a half, we have never had a presentation by our lobbyists come to the county commission. I have never, as a county commissioner, I've never been asked to weigh in on what we should be promoting or not promoting, approving or not approving in Nashville. So back in 2019, we had a resolution to create this position. And just reading from one of the whereases here, the second to last whereas, it says this person will advocate on behalf of Williamson County concerning its interests on proposed legislation that may have an effect on Williamson County, as well as legislation that is requested by the Board of County Commissioners. I don't recall ever being requested by anybody about how we should manage our lobbyists. Our lobbyist right now, he has a 5-year contract. It started in 2019, and it has to be approved every year for 5 years. It's every year it's a 1-year contract. And it's between the mayor and our lobbyist. I've never seen any of his billing, so I don't even know what he's doing exactly. He is also the executive director of the Tennessee Assessors. He represents Rutherford County, Blount County, and I don't know how it is determined which bills he supports or he doesn't. There were 3 bills this last year that concerned me. It kind of got me interested in this in the first place. And one of them was SB 2311 and HB 2419, which was a bill that would give the counties more say in when the municipalities annex a piece of property for development. And we voted on a resolution 2026-20 by 2/3 majority to support that bill, and our lobbyist didn't. He has 3 designations on the bills that he's looking at or following for the county. One is he watches, one is he supports, and one is he opposes. On that particular bill, he listed it as a watch. There was another bill that I think was important, and speaking of that, we've had several speakers come tonight about the school and about the school raise, mentioning the fact that a lot of the people that work in the county cannot afford to live here. And one of the bills that was in the legislature this year was a reaffirmation of the fact that a privately owned single-family home is not taxed at the 40% commercial rate. It's taxed at the 25% rate. And that was just a reaffirmation of that. And that's been the case for the last 50 years in Tennessee. And the reason for that was we have this issue here in our county with affordable housing. When you go from 25% to 40%, that raises the taxes quite a bit. and the people that end up paying for it are the people who are renting. So I know there's reason for debate on it, and there's two sides to that issue. I get that totally, but we never had that debate. He opposed that bill. And then, by the way, two of our representatives, Lee Reeves and Jake McCalman, were co-sponsors of that bill. Then there was another one that had to do with classifying occupations. During COVID, a lot of businesses were shut down because they weren't considered essential. There was a bill this year to change that, to say that a governmental agency cannot determine that a particular occupation is not necessary. And Todd Warner and Jake McCollum was co-sponsored that bill, and he opposed that bill as well. So I always had some concern, and I think we are the body, we're the representative body in the county. We have the fiduciary responsibility to pay our bills, and right now I think that we should have more say in how what our lobbyist does and how we pay our lobbyists and how we conduct our contract with them. So that's what I have to say.
Any questions or comments? First up is Commissioner Greg Lawrence.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Yeah, I do find it disturbing that we have a lobbyist, we're paying a lobbyist, we're asking him to support the county commission's request on behalf of Williamson County, which we vote on because we represent the people of Williamson County, and he would oppose it. I find that unacceptable. I too have never met our lobbyist. I think he's been here for one meeting, as I recall, but that's about it. I do agree that if we're going to have a lobbyist and we're going to pay a lobbyist, he needs to come give us a report on a regular, at least an annual basis. We need to know what he's doing, what he is supporting, what he's not supporting. He needs to know, he needs to hear from us what we want him to do. There's another piece of this that I'd like to amend, but I just want to point out that the school board meets with our legislative delegation every year. I believe they have a meeting with them in the fall where our legislative delegation comes in and they meet with the school board to establish the priorities for the schools for the next year. We should have that meeting as well. We can advocate on our own behalf. We don't need a lobbyist. We should be able to sit down with our legislators and tell them what we expect them to do in the next legislative session as our representatives, as we are the lesser magistrates, and we can help them craft the legislation that needs to be crafted for Williamson County. So the Section 3, it talks about that we should have a meeting with our legislative delegation. I do really like that idea, and I think we should implement that as an annual meeting. I would propose that we move that to December 1st, because you have to recognize there's elections going on at that time of the year, and sometimes the delegation may change by November. So I would like to make a motion that we amend Section 3 to say no later than December 1st, that we have an annual meeting with our legislative delegation.
I have a proper motion. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Seconded by Commissioner Pete Stresser. The motion to change the wording in Section 3 from no later than October 1st to no later than December 1st. Have that right?
Right.
Any questions or comments on the motion to amend? My next up is Commissioner Mary Smith on the motion to amend. I'll come back to you, Commissioner Lisa Hayes, on the motion to amend.
Yeah, I have a comment on that. I do think, thank you, Chair, that that is better alignment post-CTAS meeting where all the commissioners get together across the state. So I think that helps us. I do think that's a positive.
Commissioner Mason on the motion to amend? Okay. Any other questions or comments on the motion to amend the date in Section 3 from October 1st to December 1st? Was there one from Commissioner Clifford? Sorry. Commissioner Clifford on the motion to amend.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'm thinking through the date and the filing deadlines, and maybe I'll just pitch this back to Commissioner Lawrence to make sure we're considering this. If this is saying that we need to no later than December 1st submit legislative proposals to our delegation, that doesn't give them much time before the filing deadline to draft the bills, prepare them, vet them. So I just want to make sure we consider that too. That puts it on a pretty tight timeline for bill filing. So October 1st to December 1st, I guess it's 2 months. Your major concern is that there's elections and things happening in October?
Right. The first Tuesday in November is election day, and that's their election. Our state guys, that's when they're campaigning. And you may not know who they're, who's going to be in the seat. It depends on who's running and who gets elected. So
I'll support the December 1st timeline. I'd encourage us all to think about getting them in as early as we can, because that really will put a tight timeline on our legislative delegation. So while December 1st might be the cutoff, I'd encourage earlier than that. So, thank you.
We did vote on that resolution in November last year to change state law, and they actually don't file the bills till around February 1st. So they didn't file that bill until February. So that gave them 2 months to craft the bill.
Commissioner Lisa Hayes, did you re-request to speak, and if so, on the...
That was on the original.
That was on the original, okay. Anyone else wishing to speak on the motion to amend? Seeing none, has it been loaded? Okay. I'm told it's been loaded. If you are in favor of the motion to amend Section 3 from the date of October 1st to December 1st, once it gets loaded up here,
I think you have as amended up, Carolyn, instead of the amendment. Now,
okay.
no, what you have up is correct.
All right, so the screen is now correct. If you're in favor of the amendment to change the date to December 1st, signify by pressing your yes button once it pops up. Opposed, your no. Anyone wishing to change their vote, please do so at this time. Commissioner Cardin, record the vote, please, Mr. Whitby.
20 yes, 1 no.
Motion passes. So we're now back to the resolution as amended. Questions and comments, do they need to be reloaded, or we do? I think I remember that Mary Smith was up first, so we'll go to Mary Smith first. And then Mason, and then Hayes. I think it's,
No,
we're trying to get caught up here.
Yeah, I would support this. I haven't had a chance to go through everything in detail, but in the past, I have been able to go to Will and ask for the list of legislation that he is working on, and he's always been very amicable to give it. I think what concerned me about what Commissioner Petty said was knowing that we have supported legislation as a body, and that has not been what the person we're paying for has lobbied for. So I think that is a concern. I think having that annual report, making sure it's aligned with what this body is asking of his services is very important. So I would support this rule change.
Commissioner Mason, I believe, was next.
Thank you. I remember when we did the resolution to hire a lobbyist, and I know at that point it made me very nervous, but the big push was to have somebody up at the state level for education funding, because as we know, we don't always get the amount of money that other counties get, and so that was a big reason why I supported it. It does make me nervous because I also think as county commissioners we need to remember to stay in our lane. I mean, we are the funding body of the government, and so our lobbyist, in my opinion, should be doing and monitoring bills that we as a body either support or do with funding of the county. It makes me really nervous when we start going outside that scope because we're not members of the school board. We're not picking textbooks, that kind of thing. So I want us to be really careful. But overall, I like the idea that Commissioner Petty has come up with because I also don't know what our lobbyist is doing. So I would like to know that. My question for legal, is there anything in this resolution that would legally cause us issues or have any conflict? I've skimmed through it, I've looked at it, nothing jumped out at me. I'm just curious if you see anything that is a red flag for us.
I think there are questions. The question, could the lobbyist lobby on behalf of Williamson County or its elected officials if it was not on the legislative summary provided by December 1? Bills are filed with the state all the time and not necessarily by our delegation that impact on Williamson County. So the assessor of property, the register of deeds, office, the clerks of court, all are impacted by legislation, which you may not impact or have passed upon in any form or fashion. So I don't know that this limits that. I think that's a question as to how that is. In general, the other question is, how are you going to express that? You're going to have to take an official vote, as no individual commissioner has the authority to speak on behalf of the commission. So you're going to have to vote as a commission on what your legislative priorities are and the scope of the representation of the county commission. I do not, and then you'd have to decide if that is limiting the ability of the lobbyists to work on behalf of other elected officials for Williamson County. Again, not addressed in this resolution. So those are concerns I would have.
And so then the scope of the lobbyists that we currently have isn't just lobbying for the county commissions, for the entire county, which is why I assume he had a contract with the mayor's office, not with the county commission.
That's correct.
So that makes sense to me. So it's not just county commission issues. It's, as you said, all the department issues. My big thing is, though, I would like a report. I'd like to know what he is lobbying on. In your explanation, this resolution may be a little too restrictive because, again, I don't know what the county clerk needs. I don't know what the property assessor needs. I don't really want to get into all of that. So it may be a little too restrictive, but I do think having an understanding of what our lobbyist is doing is not too much to ask. Thank you.
Do you mind me calling on you, Ms. Giddens? I think we do receive a report, but I know we get thousands and thousands of emails. But I'll let Ms. Giddens report on that.
So we do send out from the mayor's office the reports from the Tennessee County Commissioners Association with all of the information that the County Commissioners Association supports. Same with the county mayors, and then Tennessee County Services Association also has a pre and post legislative conference that they provide proposed legislation and then what the association as a whole through your respective representatives through those associations provide and what they have supported. And then I do send out information to the commission, like you don't have just one. There is Mr. Deggs is a consulting lobbyist. Mr. Denami is a consulting lobbyist. I believe that the sheriff's office has a consulting lobbyist. The property assessor has a consulting lobbyist. So there's not just one. But as we get the reports, I do email those out to you all.
So I guess then back to my question, if we have multiple lobbyists, do we have one just for the county commission then?
Just for the county commission, the commissioners are represented through the County Commissioner Association, which is Charlie Curtis is the executive director, and you all from time to time.
Right, but that's statewide. I'm saying,
Correct.
do we, 24 of us, have a lobbyist that we can meet with and say, here are our goals, here are our objectives, here's what we want?
I wouldn't say that you can't do that. I
But do
don't know
we?
that you have a specific contract for the county commission, no.
Okay, so then I guess my question would be, is Mr. or Commissioner Petty's resolution moot because we don't have a lobbyist?
I can't answer that.
Well, the county has a lobbyist, so
Well,
to
the
the
county
degree.
has several, it sounds like.
Well, the others are not directly contracting with the county, I don't believe.
Yes, they did.
I haven't seen those contracts, so I don't know. I mean, if they go, the ones that come through the association and those are not contracts
they do.
with the county.
Right.
The one for the sheriff's department, I'm not aware of. That would be something,
And the assessor, property assessor, she said had one.
That's through the association as well.
that's again through their
Okay.
association, so it's not specific to that office. The courts have certain associations that lobby on their behalf.
Right, and
but
I'm
it's
not talking
specific.
about association lobbyists, I'm talking specifically with Williamson County.
I don't know about the sheriffs because I don't do that contract, so I'm not aware of it. If they've got one, the sheriff could answer that, if it's appropriated and specific with them. The commission does not have one. The county has a general one with Mr. Denami that would encompass anything the county commission wished to do, but it would also encompass the
Right.
other offices.
So the county commission doesn't have a lobbyist for the
You
county
could
commission.
appropriate money and hire a lobbyist for the commission. Yes, you could, but you haven't.
Okay, thank you.
Commissioner Hayes, I believe technically you were up next
Thank
for the
you.
amendment.
Thank you. Commissioner Petty, thank you very much. This is long overdue. I'm not really sure how Denami works for the county, but yet he doesn't also work for us. I mean, if he works for the mayor's goals, I would assume are pretty much the same as ours. So I would see that he is one and the same. I would actually like to see a quarterly. I know in here it says one of the warehouses, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, down says an annual reporting. I'd like to see quarterly because during session, an annual, we could miss a lot of very juicy data. And that's, to me, a very important part of the year. And also, my concern is, how do we handle, I'm sure we have a contract, but how do we handle where there are conflicts? Where he's going and lobbying on behalf of someone's interests that are opposing not maybe our mayor or our county and or our representatives at the state level. I mean, how do we handle that? How do we hold him accountable to that? Because that to me seems extremely inappropriate. And we were sitting up there and witnessed him testifying. So I was concerned and was shocked. So I think this is long overdue. I support it, but I would like to see quarterly. But I won't. Annual, I'm happy at minimum. Thank you.
Commissioner Matt Williams.
When does the current contract expire?
2019.
It's an annual renewal, but it was a 5-year to start.
And then, so when is it up for renewal?
It's up for renewal once a year. It's a 1-year.
I understand that. I'm asking, what is the date for
I
renewal?
don't have that off the top of my head right now, but I can certainly look it up tomorrow.
So
It started in
Alright.
started July 24. That was the first year.
And it renews every year for 5 years.
So is it safe to say that the renewal is July 1st of this year?
We'll find out and get that information to you by tomorrow.
I actually appreciate the intent of this resolution. As it's been brought up, obviously, as many have said, we've not gotten a report necessarily that, states what his position was in regards to the county on certain issues. I think my issue is a little bit with the structure of this resolution. I think it might be something that we could include into the renewal, not necessarily have to pass a resolution on it. And then specifically with Section 3, the way I read that actually kind of gets into the rules, in my opinion. It basically is formalizing how we would have to aggregate, formal county positions on certain issues. And so to me, it's a little bit of a contractual issue with the with a lobbyist, as well as it's kind of touching on to like the setting rules that we have to abide by in dealing with a lobbyist. So I like the intent of this. I think we can incorporate it in the renewal of the contract itself, but it's Section 3 is what's causing me some problems because I feel like it's restricting us from a rules perspective. That's all.
Commissioner Clifford.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Questions, I guess, answered by the sheriff. If you could invite him up to answer the question of whether they employ a lobbyist, and then I have a follow-up comment if you allow it.
Go ahead, Sheriff.
Thank you, Commissioner. Yes, we employ a lobbyist.
Is that contracted directly through your office?
It is.
Not an association?
No, this is through my office and my budget.
Okay. My comment is, let me find the section, I apologize. Section 2, I think is accomplished through the provisions A, B, D, and E. The one that causes me a little bit of concern is C. I think that's a little unreasonable to ask someone to report on all that. If you're familiar with lobbying, there's a lot of conversations that happen. We have one here in our commission that does this work. And especially if we're going to hold them to this, I think it's just unreasonable for us to expect them to report on every conversation with everyone. I bump into Will Denami all the time in the legislature, and sometimes we do talk about local stuff. Sometimes we don't. But I wouldn't think it reasonable to make him remember that, go back and report on it, and us enforce that against him. So I will make a motion to delete C in Section 2, because I think A, B, D, and E will cover that more than sufficiently. Section 2, subsection C, delete.
I have a proper motion. Do I hear a second? Seconded by Commissioner Greg Sanford. Any questions or comments on the motion to re-amend the already amended Resolution 62642?
The motion is to delete Section 2C.
Yeah. While they're loading it, I'll restate it, and Commissioner Clifford, let me know if I'm stating it incorrectly, but I believe your motion is to amend the resolution by striking from Section 2, paragraph C.
That's correct.
And again, that motion was seconded by Greg Sanford. Another call for questions or comments on that motion to amend. Seeing none, has it been loaded?
Why are you making a motion?
Are you wanting to speak or make a motion?
Well, you have to do that to clear it. I think, I'm guessing that because it usually, when it pops up like that, you have to motion in a second.
I don't think so.
The amendment was my amendment. His amendment's not up.
They're loading it, though.
Okay, do we have to make a motion in a
No.
second? Well, okay.
Just let,
I assumed that we had to, I didn't disregard that.
yeah, I think you just let the screen
Okay, I'm sorry.
go until it's ready. I don't know if there are any other, while she's loading that, are there any other questions for the sheriff?
I'd like to ask a question.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
If I may.
Yeah.
I would like some input as to how this will affect me if you take action on that tonight, because obviously, as an elected official, I have some things that are delegated to my authority that y'all could offer your opinion, but I don't think you could direct me on what action to take that would
believe
be
that-
specific to me.
That question would be for Commissioner Petty, I believe.
Yeah, I don't know, I haven't thought of that one. So,
We
the reason I'm concerned about this is that we are the deliberative body, and we have the fiscal responsibility, and we're paying somebody $88,000 a year to represent us, and I felt that he wasn't representing certainly something that I thought was important or would have been in agreement with. And I just want to make sure that if somebody's representing our county, that, you know, particularly just the county as a whole, that it jives with what we think is right and what we agree on. And the big one was SB 2311, where we voted 2/3, and it was listed as a watch, so it wasn't supported. So, yeah, that's my concern. So I really haven't thought it through with yours because I didn't know you had a lobbyist.
It would certainly differ for me. The effective date, which y'all are voting on, would do nothing for my purposes and what I use my lobbyists for, because given that legislators have a limited number of bills that they can carry, we're very selective about what we try to carry forward or what we promote. But we spend the majority of our time trying to kill bad bills than we do supporting those that are good.
Yeah.
So we spend the majority of our time trying to kill those bills. I can't be at the legislature every day, but I've got eyes and ears down there who's keeping me informed so that I can be there on things that are important to Williamson County and public safety in general.
Yeah.
And, until this year, they mandated the 287G program. Well, that's something that we've been following very closely. And there's been a lot of debate back and forth about that. Well, now we know the legislature has passed a bill that will mandate us to participate in that effective July of 2027. So those are the types of things that are of interest to me.
Yeah.
But the majority, again, of our time is spent killing bad bills because legislators don't oftentimes know how that's going to affect us where we have the boots on the ground.
Yeah.
And we work in concert with the Sheriff's Association and the Chiefs Association.
Yeah. Okay.
I believe it's been loaded now, but I've seen a few questions or requests to speak pop up. Matt Williams, is this on the amendment to remove paragraph C from section 2?
It is. Will the renewal of this lobbyist agreement come through committee?
No, sir. The contract approved by the county commission was a 5-year contract subject to annual appropriations. So it's in the budget for the new fiscal year, July 1.
If I could, that structure is that there are no material changes. The mayor has the authority to renew it without bringing it to the commission.
My fear is, and what's happening right now, is we could amend this thing 20 times tonight, because I think there's an alignment on the intent, but on the actual verbiage, there's obviously not alignment. In my opinion, we need to kick this back to committee on the next renewal and let them work on the verbiage and then bring it forward to the county commission.
Clarification on committee, please. Which committee?
I mean, it's a fair question, but
Commissioner Petty wanted to send it to rules, but it doesn't amend your rules of procedure.
Yeah, this wouldn't be rules.
Where would it go?
No,
Just go to the commission, wouldn't it, as a resolution? So how do we do that?
I don't necessarily have another comment. It's just that's my thought at the moment.
It's, as written, it's not a county it's not a commission rules of procedure amendment, unless you want to make it one.
I know we're on his amendment at the moment. Give me a second to think. We can move on with his.
Okay.
On the amendment.
Commissioner Clifford on the amendment.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Following the sheriff's comments, I guess it made me think, and maybe council can just give us his opinion. I know he hasn't had a chance to research it, but I don't understand how this would apply to the mayor, who's an elected official, not apply to the sheriff, who's an elected official, but still apply to Williamson County. I think if we pass this, it would apply to the mayor, to the sheriff, to any lobbyist employed by the county, and would hold all of it to the same standard. Just off the cuff opinion on that, council?
As drafted, I think that's an argument. And I would think that, yes, I think it would apply to all of them. Section 1 says any contract agreement, retainer, or professional services arrangement for legislative advocacy funded in whole or in part by Williamson County requires annual approval by resolution of the county commission. before it may be renewed, extended, or, so it certainly seems to be casting a jurisdiction over all lobbying efforts, not just those of the county commission.
Okay, thank you.
Commissioner Mason on the amendment?
Sort of, I guess. I don't disagree with the amendment, and I think we could go back 50 times tonight and amend certain parts. Generally, what I'm hearing people say is, we just want to know what's going on. Now, but that's different from us telling the lobbyists what to do. And so I think those are two separate things. I don't know if tonight is the night to go back and forth about the lobbyist, what they're required to do as far as us meeting with them. Because again, the implications it could have with other departments. But it does sound like, from the majority of people I've heard from, we just want to know what's going on. You know, show up, tell us what bills you're supporting and what bills we're not, and have a meeting with us, similar to maybe what the school board does, meeting with the delegations, and that may be where we start. And so my thought would be something to think about is that we work on this in a committee, and maybe it's budget because it has a price tag attached to it, because we do pay the lobbyist, but in the meantime, figure out a way to get it where we're getting information from the lobbyist himself, and maybe it's an information session, maybe it's a closed session. I don't know how all that works, but to have FaceTime one-on-one, I think would appease a lot of people's trepidation about what's going on.
You know, for one more comment,
Okay.
just on
I'm worried that
the,
we're not on the amendment, and I'm going to come
I'm
back to
sorry,
all this.
you're right.
I promise, we're going to come back to all this. For now, I've got next on the board Greg Sanford, and this would be Greg on the amendment to move paragraph C away from section 2. You have a question or comment on that?
No.
Okay. Any questions or comments related to the motion to remove paragraph C from section 2? Seeing none, I believe it's been loaded. If you're in favor of removing that paragraph, signify by pressing your yes button. If you're opposed, your no. Anyone wishing to change their vote, please do so at this time. Record the vote, please, Mr. Whitby.
18 yes, 2 no.
All right.
18 yes, 2 no.
So that motion passes. Now we're back to the original resolution as amended in two different places. As a reminder, that is the removal of paragraph C from section 2, which we just did, and previously changing the date under section 3 from October 1st to December 1st. As amended, what other questions do we have on this resolution at this time?
Could we let the record reflect that Commissioner Guffey was out?
And let the record reflect that Commissioner Guffey, as she had mentioned earlier, had to leave at 8:30 and was absent for that vote. Let me push your button. It won't, oh, there's no button. Let me let the sheriff speak, and then we'll go to Commissioner.
I think this is where my comment's probably appropriate. So of the hundreds of bills that we look at that just affect law enforcement, if you wanted to report on that, I can totally understand that. If you want to sit in a meeting and know how or where we stand on each of those, you're talking about a full day. That's generally what it takes us to go through all of the law enforcement bills. So I'm just throwing that out there for your information.
Let me take these in order now. Commissioner O'Neill.
As a former lobbyist for the Police Chiefs and the Sheriff's Association, not this year, but last year, there's so much more to the lobbying than you can even imagine. I did it for 1 year. I still don't know everything, not even close. Scratch the surface. It is very complicated. We think we know until you get up there and see what it's all about. And like the sheriff was saying, just to go over the one-day bills with the people that I was representing, it was a day each, full day. I'm talking about 8-9 hour day each, trying to go through that. And then there's some other things in here like section 4. The lobbyists have to already register and tell everybody that they represent already. I mean, that's something that everybody has to do that's a registered lobbyist. And they do represent different people. And sometimes they represent an organization, sometimes they represent individual counties, and sometimes that's going to conflict. And that may have what caused the watch instead of support or not support, because you're not going to get anybody that's an effective lobbyist up there to work for the one county without having all the clients. It's just not how it works. So sometimes it's way more complicated, and I get it. I understand. I want to know more about what if we're sending somebody up there to do what we want them to do for them. Want to know what they're doing and why they're not doing it. And there's nothing wrong with us asking for that. We deserve to have that information. So, but this complicates it from my viewpoint way more. If I was the lobbyist and I was required to do everything that was in this, I would just stop working for Williamson County. I'm not sure we could hire a lobbyist that would be effective for us up there if we put all these requirements on them. So I'm not saying that's the right answer, but that's just kind of a reality.
Greg is one. How did that happen? He was 3. Commissioner Lawrence.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So I think in answer, Section 1 answers Commissioner Williams' question, at least in part, and if I understand the question correctly, it basically says that any contract renewal has to come through the county commissioner. It can't be automatically renewed by the mayor's office. So that's a change to how it currently works. So the question would be, would that include the sheriff's contract? Would we have to approve the contract for his lobbyist as well? And any other lobbyist hired by any other department, correct? The way this is worded? Okay. Do you have a problem with that, Sheriff?
No, sir, I do not. And, that's in my line item budget
Right.
anyway,
Yeah,
and you
okay.
approve the budget, so.
Right, so, yeah, that's what I was gonna say, is so.
There's a difference between approving the budget and approving the contract, though.
Yes, there is.
This would be more specific.
Right.
To have to
Right.
renew the contract, not
Right.
just the budget, as written.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but that also is approved by this body. Is that not correct?
I don't know.
I'm
Mr. Cook
fairly-
would normally be handling that, so
I'm
I
fairly
can't say
sure
for sure.
that it
I'm
went through
saying
the process like everything else.
But the answer to his question is, with the renewal, if
Gotcha.
your
Oh,
contract
okay.
was a 5-year allowing renewal by you with no change in material terms, it wouldn't come to the commission.
And I'm pretty sure ours is on a year-by-year basis. I
can't say.
guarantee that either, so.
Yeah.
Okay. The only other comment I have is the other issues in here. I'm not sure why lobbyists would say they don't want to at least come meet with us and tell us what they're doing. I mean, it's basically a summary. We just want a summary of what you're doing. We're paying you $88,000 for what? But we don't know because we don't hear from you. I mean, I think that we deserved at least some report that says, here's what I'm doing. So, I mean, if a lobbyist has a problem with that, then maybe we need another lobbyist. But I don't see why they would have a problem with coming in at least giving us a report once a year.
Commissioner Webb.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. First off, I want to agree with a lot of the comments made about especially giving the reports that Commissioner Lawrence, Commissioner Mason, and others have made. There's a lot here that we don't know, and it's become evident from Commissioner O'Neill's comments, we don't know what we don't know. And many of you that have gone up on the Hill and talked to legislators individually, you know what a circus that is. The legislature changes its rules every session, so what was last year's session may not be in this year's session. So you've got to be in there and knowing what's going on. And if those of you have been a lobbyist, like Commissioner O'Neill or someone else, or no lobby, you know it's a full-time job. And here we're putting binders on our lobbyists because one of the things that we've got here is a watch. Now, we see that from the TCCA. You know, we're watching certain things because we know a caption bill, as they do that at the legislature, a caption bill say that we're going to protect bunnies. And the next thing you know, we're supporting a bunny slaughterhouse. You don't know what a caption bill does until it gets there at the last minute. So we need a lobbyist to protect Williamson County's interests, and they need that freedom to act. And to criticize somebody said they had it on their watch list when we're not up there living and breathing that session every day. And also, there are committees that meet year-round, so it's not just during the legislative session. We know we need somebody talking up there with Tasser and working with us on this ambulance problem and the school funding issues. The sheriff needs his lobbyist because there are law enforcement things going on. And so listening to our folks like the County Commissioner Association, Charlie Curtis, those folks live up there. They're up there 12, 14 hours a day during the session and all through the years because things happen. So I'm not going to support this because this is trying to hamstring what we need. But I think we can come back and have that discussion and have a lobbyist when the contract comes up to talk to them, and have this that we want reports. The other thing is we haven't asked for a report. I think if we hired a lobbyist and we said, would you make a report? You make a written request through the chair of the commission or through the mayor and say, we would like for you to come report. I distinctly remember Mr. Denami coming and making reports. I can't remember when, whether it was to committee or this body. And other lobbyists have come over the years. So I was thinking about deferring this, Mr. Chair, but the issue is I don't know when to defer it to. Where are we going to get all the information? But I think that if we defeat this tonight, then we can come back, and with Counselor and with the mayor, we can come back with the lobbyist, no matter who the lobbyist is. The sheriff's lobbyist, Mr. Denami, somebody else, and put in there that we want meetings. And I agree, I think Commissioner Williams said that probably that would come through budget because it does funding. At least that's a starting place. So I'm just here to conversate. We don't know what we don't know, and thus I'm not going to support it. But I do support having any of our lobbyists come back and either give us a written report and would prefer a meeting with them. Thank you.
I have several commissioners here that have already spoken. I will come back to you, but I'm going to go now to Commissioner Morton, who I don't believe has spoken yet, and then to Commissioner Herbert. Then I'll come back around and take the others in order.
I think we're all seeking communication here, and if we could get a commitment from the mayor to have Mr. Denami and or anyone else come here, I will then call the question.
I have a motion to call the question. Do I hear a second? Second. Seconded by Commissioner Steve Smith. Remind me what the vote count needs to be on this.
Our rules say we got to vote on it.
We're checking on the vote count. I think we moved it to 2/3.
You're going to run out of paper.
Bring my Roberts.
Was there a comment on it?
I think we made a change or something.
I went off on a tangent.
2/3.
I'm pissed off. If Drew was over there, he'd be telling me, he'd read your sign.
I remember that. Yeah, it used to be half.
Greg Sanford wanted it to be 2/3. That was you. I think it's 2/3.
We believe we need a 2/3 vote, but we're getting some validation on that.
That's why Charlie's so good.
Yeah, it's in here. I don't know if you got it. Okay, why don't you go to the appendix? Call for the question. Look in the appendix under call for the question.
Find it quicker. Have at it.
Do you not have your appendix back here? Here we go. Question.
I recall that we made the change from half to two-thirds a while back, but,
My recollection as well.
and that's the recollection of those around me, but let's just make sure it's in the rules.
Motions, rescind, oh, that's a motion to table.
I have a electronic document, what would you like me to search on?
Call the question.
Can't search it.
It's having to convert it to search it. It's not clear this left.
I know it's in there, but
Yeah, take a recess.
Yeah, let's take a 10-minute recess, and we'll reconvene at 9:05. 9:06, somewhere in there.
How about that?
We're going to reconvene tonight's commissioner meeting, I believe with a path forward here. So we'll, if you'll allow me, we're going to break protocol here a little bit because I think we have a path forward, and if I'm wrong, then these three gentlemen will obviously correct me. In the meantime, for your own edification, it is 2/3 of a vote that would be required to call the question. But with that, I'll turn the mic over to Chaz Morton.
Having had some further discussion and with the understanding that the county mayor will have our lobbyists come and make some reports to us, I will rescind my motion to call the question.
And then Steve Smith, who seconded it.
I'll rescind.
And I will turn the mic over to Bill Petty.
All right, I think we've had a very good conversation tonight, and I think so we needed to have this conversation. And I appreciate what everybody has said tonight. And I think it's important for us to have that conversation, and I think we all agree that we want to have more information and maybe a little more control over what happens with our lobbyists. So at this point, there are a number of issues with the resolution as is written that I think need to be worked on. I'm willing to accept that, and I think that's the right thing to do. I think it needs to go to the Budget Committee, and I've talked to the people in the Budget Committee about it, and I think we need to sit down, give us some time. So I'm going to withdraw my resolution at this point.
Okay. So Resolution 62642 has been pulled by the author. Which brings us to Resolution 62643, I believe. Am I right?
Correct.
Resolution authorizing the Williamson County Mayor to enter into an amendment to the agreement with the MTSU for support services to the county's opioid abatement task force. Proper motion made by, don't have it on our screens yet. Everybody's voting. There we go. I think you can make your motions now if you like. Proper motion made by Commissioner Guy Carden, seconded by Commissioner Jennifer Mason. Opioid Abatement Task Force was 9-4-0 against. Public Health Committee did not meet for lack of a quorum. Budget Committee was 5-4-0 against. Explanation, please, Commissioner Morton.
Yes, when the opioid task force was formed, we had to have knowledgeable persons to explain to us what was being done with the money. MTSU put in a bid, won that bid. This is to renew their contract to perform those services.
Any questions or comments? Seeing none, if you're ready to vote, if you're in favor of Resolution 62643, signify by pressing your yes button. Opposed, your no. Anyone wishing to change their vote, please do so at this time. Record the vote, please, Mr. Whidbey.
20 yes, 0 no.
Resolution passes. Resolution 62644, resolution authorizing the Williamson County Mayor to grant a fee, simple interest, and temporary construction easement for the widening of Columbia Avenue. Proper motion made by Commissioner Tom Tunnicliffe, seconded by Commissioner Guy Carden. Property Committee was 3-4-0 against. Budget Committee 5-4-0 against. Explanation, please, Commissioner Morton.
Yes, this just allows the mayor to let the state widen Columbia Avenue. The bad news is it's not for 5 years.
Any questions or comments? Seeing none, if you're ready to vote, if you're in favor, signify by pressing your yes button. Opposed, your no. Anyone wishing to change their vote, please do so at this time. Record the vote, please, Mr. Whidbey.
20 yes, 0 no.
Resolution passes. Resolution 62645, a resolution authorizing the Williamson County Mayor to enter into an interlocal agreement with the town of Nolensville, Tennessee for the reimbursement of costs associated with annual software licenses purchased by Williamson County. Proper motion made by Commissioner Greg Sanford and seconded by Commissioner Mary Smith. The Budget Committee was 5-4-0 against. Explanation, please, Commissioner Morton.
Yes, this resolution will allow Nolensville to be on the same EMS system with communications with the county. They will reimburse us for the licensing fee.
Any questions or comments? Seeing none, if you're ready to vote, if you're in favor, signify by pressing your yes button. Opposed, your no. Anyone wishing to change their vote, please do so at this time. Record the vote, please, Mr. Whitby.
20 yes, 0 no.
Resolution passes. Resolution 62646, resolution ratifying and adopting the amendment to Chapter 107 of the Private Acts of 1957, approved by the General Assembly and cited as private Chapter number 37 of the Private Acts of 2026. Proper motion made by Commissioner Greg Sanford and seconded by Commissioner Mary Smith. Public Health did not have a quorum. Budget Committee was 5-4-0 against. Explanation, please, Commissioner Morton.
Yes, council's here to probably explain it a little bit better if necessary. In the private act, I believe we've always been under the assumption that any potential sale of the hospital had to run through this body. It certainly said beforehand that the Board of Trustees could not do it by itself, but we have now added language to that statute that makes it clear that no sale or related transaction of the hospital can happen without the approval of the Williamson County Board of Commissioners.
Any questions or comments? Seeing none, if you're ready to vote, if you're in favor, signify by pressing your yes button. Opposed, your no. Anyone wishing to change their vote, please do so at this time. Commissioner Aiello? Try backing out and doing it again. There we go. Record the vote, please, Mr. Whitby.
20 yes, 0 no.
Resolution passes. Resolution 62647, resolution to authorize the Williamson County Clerk's Office to write off the attached list of checks. Proper motion made by Commissioner Greg Sanford and seconded by Commissioner Steve Smith. Budget Committee was 5-4-0 against. Explanation, please, Commissioner Morton.
This just allows the clerk's office to write off bad checks.
Any questions? It looks like Paul Webb.
Yes, Mr. Chair. I just looked at some of this. There is a major national automobile company that happens to have a dealership in my district, and the other one's in Mr. Tunnicliff's district. I think they ought to be ashamed of themselves. We've not had a good bit of luck in trying to communicate to them. It's a small amount of money to all of us, but the idea is a large corporation like this needs to figure out their accounting so they can properly pay their bills to the county government of Williamson County. So if they're not accepting our mail and phone calls, maybe somebody will hook us up on YouTube and they'll see that Sonic Automotive ought to be paying their bills. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Any other questions or comments? Seeing none, if you're ready to vote, if you're in favor, signify by pressing your yes button. Opposed, your no. Anyone wishing to change their vote, please do so at this time. Record the vote, please, Mr. Whitby.
20 yes, 0 no.
Resolution passes. Resolution 62648, resolution authorizing the Director of Accounts and Budgets to write off an uncollectible amount of $20,881.08. Proper motion made by Commissioner Tom Tunnicliff, seconded by Commissioner Greg Sanford. Budget Committee was 5-4-0 against. Explanation, please, Commissioner Morton.
Yes, back in 2024, we had a bad check that had run through. We've been carried on the books, and this just finally allows us to write it off. We have taken all the steps to try to recover these funds and have just not been able to, so this just allows us to not continue to carry it as an amount on our books.
And a question or comment from Commissioner Mary Smith.
Yeah, I'm just curious, was anybody ever held accountable for that check? Because it was a theft, and 20,000 is fairly significant.
It is, thank you. So there was, this was a vendor check that was mailed out from my office to pay a expense of the county. It was for $881.08. The check was intercepted somewhere between our mailbox and the vendor's mailbox. It was whitewashed and changed to $20,881. We immediately notified the bank. We immediately filed a report with the Sheriff's Department. We started an immediate investigation. It was the name on the check and the name on the bank account traced back to a lady in Florida, I believe, who was a victim of identity theft. So she was also going through the same situation where someone had stole her identity, used her name, opened an account, and then closed the account immediately after it cleared. I have been back in touch with law enforcement. We reported it to the comptroller's office immediately. I've been told that there is little to no chance that we're going to retrieve the money because they can't identify the person. So we had some other checks that went out to the same vendor that had been cleared, and as soon as we realized they were the same vendor, we stopped payment on those. And thankfully, we have isolated it to this one check, but it is, I admit, it's very significant.
Thank you.
Yes.
Commissioner Hayes.
Just a kind of a quick question. In checks like this, does our bank require any kind of secondary signature? I know this has happened in a company I used to work for, so it can happen easily, but there was like a fail-safe, so we were very lucky that it was about the same amount. I think it was 18,000.
Right.
It was stopped because there was a secondary signature required over a certain amount. Do we have that now, or?
We do not have a secondary signature. So what we have started is we have what is called positive pay. And so we upload a file to the bank system so they know what checks we issued. They will know the vendor name, the amount, and then they can flag anything that doesn't match up to the file. So when a check gets cleared, they match that back to that positive pay file, and they can say this check went to Ms. Hayes, and it should have been to Ms. Riley. So they can then notify us at that point and go back. So again, unfortunately, this one was not caught. This is not, unfortunately, the only theft that we have been able to deter. It just is the one that got missed. So now we have different steps. My staff has gone through additional training. We have met with the bank. We have, if someone doesn't answer that exception by a certain time, the bank automatically denies it. That way, if someone in my office can't get to it in time or doesn't have that, we also have 2 individuals now looking at each one of those, because unfortunately, you would get those bounce back, and it's checking a box, and sometimes a box gets checked, and sometimes they get overlooked. So we have done everything we can to try to mitigate this from happening in the future. Thank you.
Any other questions or comments? I see none.
Thank you.
And if you're ready to vote, if you're in favor, signify by pressing your yes button. Opposed, your no. Anyone wishing to change their vote, please do so at this time. Record the vote, please, Mr. Whitby.
20 yes, 0 no.
Resolution passes. Resolution 62649, a resolution authorizing the mayor to execute a forensic medical examiner services contract with Forensic Medical Management Services, PLC, for the provision of forensic medical services. Proper motion made by Commissioner Greg Sanford and seconded by Commissioner Ricky Jones. Law Enforcement was 3-4-0 against. Public Health Committee did not have a quorum. Budget Committee was 5-4-0 against. Explanation, please, Commissioner Tunnicliffe.
Pretty self-explanatory. We don't have a medical examiner in employment, so we have a contract to have one.
Any questions or comments? Seeing none, if you're ready to vote, if you're in favor, signify by pressing your yes button. Opposed, your no. Anyone wishing to change their vote, please do so at this time. Record the vote, please, Mr. Whitby.
20 yes, 0 no.
Resolution passes. Resolution 62650, resolution to amend the estimated beginning fund balances for county funds to reflect audited fund balances for fiscal year 25-26. Proper motion made by Commissioner Greg Sanford and seconded by Commissioner Pete Stresser. Budget Committee was 5-4-0 against. Explanation, please, Commissioner Morton.
Yes, the Comptroller's Office has asked us to use the actual fund balances. Obviously, when we start the process on a budget, we have to use estimated fund balances because we don't know them on June 30th. Now, at this time, we do know what those fund balances were. Those are the GAAP numbers, and those are presented here, so you know what our true fund balances were on July 1st of 2025.
Any questions or comments? Seeing none, if you're ready to vote, if you're in favor, signify by pressing your yes button. Opposed, your no. Anyone wishing to change their vote, please do so at this time. Commissioner Mary Smith. Record the vote, please, Mr. Whitby.
20 yes, 0 no.
Resolution passes. Just as a reminder again, it's June 18th that we'll all meet here at 9 a.m. for what is generally referred to as the big budget meeting. And on June 29th, at 5:30 at the Enrichment Center is a combined meeting with the Franklin Board of Mayor and Aldermen. With that, as always, I want to thank the sheriff and the sheriff's deputies for being here and standing guard for us, all the department heads for staying late. Is there any other business or comments that need to come before this commission? We are adjourned.